Chapter 892, Established, Dragon Assassin Organization. It was very dangerous outside the city in the dark of the supernatural continent. Wang Xian asked the group of draconids to find a safe place to hide on the Mermaid Island. He and Ao Yao flew carefully toward the location of the passageway between Earth and the supernatural continent. Wang Xian arrived at the bottom of the sea smoothly with the eye of the heavenly dragon and entered the dragon palace directly. Wang Xian's arrival surprised the members of the dragon palace. When he found out that Guan Shuqing and the rest were cultivating in seclusion, he did not disturb them. Call the 10 strongest members of the Ao Jian Golden Tribe over. Also, call the 20 strongest deviant demons over. Wang Xian ordered Prime Minister Gui directly. It's the Dragon King. Prime Minister Gui quickly instructed. Wang Xian came to the dragon pool. The corpses in his interspatial ring were thrown aside and were quickly absorbed. Walala! 9 divine dragons coiled around the dragon pillars. Thick dragon blood flowed out from their mouths. There were more than 600 level 1 transcendent corpses. There were about 100 level 2 transcendent corpses. There were 14 level 3 transcendent corpses. 1 level 4 transcendent corpse. The last level for transcendent corpse belonged to the assassin. The dragon holes formed by the corpses of experts were not measured by size, but by quality. With so many corpses, the amount of dragon blood in the dragon pool increased rapidly. The quality of the dragon blood far exceeded that of the past. Basically, 2 level 1 transcendent corpses can allow a peak upper immortal member of the dragon palace to step into level 1 transcendent. However, the strength of level 1 is obviously not enough. They must have at least the strength of level 2 or even level 3 extraordinary. With so much dragon blood, they should be able to pile up 10 level 3 and 20 level 2 extraordinary individuals. Wang Xian calculated in his heart with an expressionless face. Dragon King. At this moment, a group of Dragon Palace members behind him came over and shouted respectfully. Enter and raise your cultivation base to at least transcendent level 2 before you come out. The lowest cultivation base of the group of members from the Dragon Palace was an upper-level immortal. Among the strange demons, there were 2 to 3 who had already entered the transcendence realm. Currently, the combined strength of the strange demons was the strongest in the Dragon Palace. It's the Dragon King. All the golden swordfish and strange demons, including Ao Jian and Ao Yao, entered the dragon pool. The strange demons have been nurtured into the light-pricking dragon species. Wang Xian thought to himself immediately. In an instant, the dragons that were entrenched on the 9 pillars spat out resplendent dragon blood. It landed on the heads of the strange demons and slowly sank into the dragon pool. Why is it so fast this time? Just as Wang Xian was about to return to his bedroom to rest, he suddenly realized that the strange demons in the dragon pool were changing very quickly. The last time Ao Yao evolved into a light-pricking dragon, it took a total of 7 days. It must be because the quality of the dragon blood is higher this time. Wang Xian did not leave. He stood quietly beside the dragon pool, waiting for them to become stronger. Time passed slowly. 10 hours. In just 10 hours, the dragon blood in the dragon pool was completely depleted. One by one, powerful figures appeared in the dragon pool. Dragon King. Ao Yao and Ao Jian came directly to Wang Xian's side and greeted him respectfully. Very good. Wang Xian's eyes were sparkling. Transcendent level 3. Both of them had reached transcendent level 3. Apart from them, 3 golden swordfish had reached transcendent level 3 while 7 strange demons had reached transcendent level 3. The rest were all at transcendent level rank 2. With so many resources, Wang Xian was very satisfied that he was able to nurture 12 transcendent level rank 3 and 20 transcendent level rank 2. This is the strength of the Dragon Palace. As long as there are resources, they will be able to unleash unlimited explosive force. Chapter 893, Congratulations to Death. I, Wang Xian, don't run away from Shanghai town with my tail between my legs. If I want to leave, I have to do it openly. When Wang Xian's voice rang out at the city gate, the people gathered around were slightly stunned. Then, they took a deep breath. He had guts. He was not as strong as Wang Xian, yet he dared to come back after escaping. Furthermore, he was so arrogant. It had to be said that this kid had guts. Wang Xian. When the deputy leader of the Squawk Shark and the rest saw Wang Xian's calm expression, they revealed a gloomy expression. However, they soon revealed a ferocious smile on their faces. Very good. Since you dare to come back, ha. Kid, you really have guts. Let me see how you will walk out of Shanghai town openly in the future. However, the deputy leader of the Dogfish tribe said as he stared at Wang Xian ferociously. However, if you want to walk out of Shanghai town, you have to step over my corpse. I don't know if you have the ability to do so. If you don't, I will dismember your corpse into pieces and the corpses of everyone around you. As he spoke, a bloodthirsty look appeared in his eyes. Bei Qianjun and Qing Gaia, who were at the side, also stared at Wang Xian with a cold expression as they scanned the people behind him. You actually brought people here. How interesting. Everyone glanced at Ao Jian and the rest as they said coldly. Then I shall wait and see. Wang Xian walked forward with a cold expression. You are really arrogant. However, I like to kill arrogant people. The vice leader of the Squalid Sharks stared coldly at their departing figures. Everyone looked at Wang Xian and the rest with astonishment on their faces. He brought 10 people with him, but the strongest one is only at level 3 of the extraordinary realm. Although their strength is not bad, they are no match for the Squalid Sharks mercenary group, Bei Qianjun, and Qing Gaia. This young man has so many subordinates. Which village does he belong to? It's a pity that he has some problems with his brain. Everyone was discussing in a low voice. Wang Xian ignored the discussions of the people around him. He looked at the Draconid and ordered, all of you, go buy a place to stay. Also, buy a communication stone plate. Now that there were many people, they needed a place to stay. In addition, the communication stone plate was the most important thing. The communication stone plate was similar to the computers on Earth. It was similar to the mission stone plate and was made with an array formation. Through the communication stone plate, words could be transmitted on the stone plate. It could establish a separate communication channel. The Undercurrent Assassin organization received missions through the communication stone plate. Since Wang Xian wanted to establish an assassin organization, he could use the same method. It's the Dragon King. The 2 Draconids nodded immediately. Wang Xian gave them 500,000 low-grade spiritual stones. 500,000 low-grade spiritual stones was enough to buy a small house and a communication stone plate. 2 hours later, Wang Xian and the rest arrived at a small courtyard. The location was indeed remote and there were only 3 rooms. It was very cold. However, Wang Xian did not mind it. He walked into the courtyard and looked at the group of Draconids and members of the Dragon Palace. One by one, strange demons appeared and stood there quietly. They were not powerful, but they were not weak either. Long Yi, the 10 of you should investigate the whereabouts of all the members of the Squalid Shark mercenary group. Wang Xian looked at them and ordered. It's the Dragon King. The 10 of them nodded immediately. Ao Yao, there must be someone around us monitoring us. Send someone to kill them. Be careful. Don't be discovered. That's right. As Wang Xian spoke, he took out pieces of red paper from his interspatial ring with a smile on his face. The paper was made on Earth. It didn't exist on the Transcendence continent. The red paper was cut into words with the words, "Congratulations" written on it. After killing them, take away their bodies and place this paper at the spot where they died. The corner of his mouth curled up slightly as he spoke angrily to Ao Yao. It's the Dragon King. Ao Yao nodded as his eyes sparkled. Today, I will establish the strongest assassin organization in the Transcendence continent, the Dragon Spike. I hope that your strange demon clan will not disappoint me. Wang Xian looked at Ao Yao and said slowly. Don't worry, Dragon King. No one can escape our assassination. Ao Yao's eyes sparkled with a cold killing intent as he said with fighting spirit. Alright, let's get rid of the people around us first. I want the dragon spike to shake the entire Holy Sea town. Wang Xian's eyes shone with a fiery glow. Yes. Ao Yao nodded. Be careful. Wang Xian reminded her. Dragon King, don't worry. I have broken through to level 3 extraordinary and obtained 2 more supernatural powers. Ao Yao's face revealed a confident expression. Ao Yao, who was at the first level of extraordinariness, had comprehended the divine ability of nothingness and turned into nothingness for a short period of time. He was extremely terrifying during an assassination attempt. He, who had obtained 2 more divine abilities, was even more terrifying. Okay. Wang Xian nodded his head slowly. Ao Yao bowed to him and beckoned to the 3 strange demons. In an instant, the 3 strange demons disappeared. As the strongest dragon seed dragon spike in the Dragon Palace, it could assassinate assassins who were at the peak of the universe. Even though it was only a half-finished product, it still had a terrifying ability that was difficult to understand in the supernatural continent. The 3 strange demons disappeared and walked out of the door, scanning their surroundings. Ever since the Dragon Palace dominated Earth, all the resources on Earth were used by the Dragon Palace. The ones who benefited the most were the civil officials in the Dragon Palace. They had all the information on Earth. Among them, there were assassination techniques. After they had learned them, they had analyzed them and taught them to the strange demons. All the strange demons had mastered things that were far beyond the imagination of ordinary people. 3 strange demons stood openly at the door of the room. They scanned their surroundings. Here, in a remote part of the Holy Sea town, it could be considered a slum area. There were not many people around, and all of them were old people resting at the door of their homes. Among them, 2 middle-aged men were sitting on the left and right respectively. One of them was talking to an old man. One of them was sitting at the entrance of a house. They were looking at the room where Wang Xian and the rest were. Pa! This young man is not as simple as I thought. Yesterday, the 3 brothers disappeared without a sound. You have to be careful. A middle-aged man who was sitting alone at the door lit up a special cigarette from the extraordinary continent. He narrowed his eyes and muttered softly, his heart filled with vigilance. Pooh! However, just as the middle-aged man finished speaking, he felt a slight pain in his neck. Cough cough. His eyes widened in disbelief. At this moment, he suddenly saw his other companion, the brother who was conversing with the old man, suddenly flash with a white light behind him. Then, his body fell to the ground. How? Is it possible? Chapter 894, Congratulations on your death. Murder. Murder. On the narrow path, a middle-aged man was conversing with an old man. Suddenly, the middle-aged man fell to the ground. There was a long wound on his neck. The old man was slightly stunned, and then he shouted with a shocked face. He was dead. The middle-aged man who was conversing with him died immediately. There was a bloody mark on his neck. He was killed without any warning or even a trace. This. The people of the transcendent continent had all seen death before. Although the old man was shocked, he still hurriedly shouted. In the city, any death would be under the responsibility of the city guards. Every area was under the responsibility of the city guards. When the old man's voice rang out, a young man hurriedly ran out of the room. When he saw the middle-aged man lying in front of his house, he immediately shouted, "City guard, someone died here." What? Whoosh! The young man's voice traveled far, and there was a response immediately. In the sky, a middle-aged man quickly flew over. Flying in the city was the privilege of city guards. When the middle-aged man arrived, he immediately saw a middle-aged man's corpse lying on the ground. His face was cold. He immediately walked over to touch the corpse and looked at the wound on his neck. A fatal blow. The middle-aged city guard's expression did not change. He looked at the old man and the young man and asked, "Did you see the murderer?" "No, no." Just now, when the middle-aged man was talking to him, he suddenly fell to the ground. I saw blood flowing out of his neck and was shocked. I quickly called you, sir. The old man quickly said. You didn't see him? The middle-aged city guard frowned and asked the old man. No, no. I haven't reached the transcendence realm. I didn't even see him. The old man quickly said. Humph, you dare to commit murder in broad daylight. You're really courting death. The middle-aged city guard snorted and a trace of disdain flashed in his eyes. We'll capture him today. As he spoke, he immediately took out a stone plate and began to contact his superior. At this moment, some residents in the surrounding rooms walked out and looked over curiously. Wang Xian also walked out of the house and glanced at the corpses on the ground with a smile on his face. He dares to commit a murder in broad daylight and on the streets. He's really courting death. That's right. The entire city is covered by a formation. It can monitor all the places. Unless the murderer interferes with the formation when he makes his move, he will definitely be discovered by the formation. Some of the elders from the surrounding residents were discussing in a low voice. Wang Xian's expression changed slightly. Formation? Surveillance? Is the usage of formations in the Transcendence continent so powerful? Wang Xian's expression sank. However, when he thought of things like the communication stone plate and the mission stone plate, a hint of embarrassment flashed across his eyes. If that was really the case, it would be troublesome. Miss Jean. At this moment, a shout was heard. Wang Xian quickly turned his head and looked at the sky. A woman was dressed in a cautious city guard uniform. She looked valiant with a long sword in her hand. Her figure was extremely hot. It's the captain. When she heard the middle-aged city guard address her, the woman was slightly displeased. Yes, it's the captain. There's a murder case here. Please open the array formation and take a picture. The middle-aged man realized that he had said the wrong thing and quickly said. The woman walked to the side of the corpse and looked at the corpse on the ground. A sharp dagger, a fatal blow. Yes, Captain. The deceased was suddenly killed while chatting with this old man. The old man didn't see anyone. The middle-aged city guard said. When did he die? The woman took out a blue jade plate the size of 2 palms and asked. About 5 minutes ago. The old man immediately replied. Yes. The woman nodded and nodded on the jade plate. Yes. Soon, the woman frowned and a serious expression appeared on her face. Only a white shadow flashed by. The enemy should have used the array formation to block the surveillance of the city protection array. Not good. Not only one person died, another person died. There, a white shadow. The woman revealed a shocked expression, and her eyes flickered as she looked to the left. Then, she lowered her head and repeatedly looked at the picture on the jade plate. This is. She walked to the side of the corpse and picked up a red piece of paper from the ground. The texture of the paper was very special, and the shape of the paper was very strange. This thing, was it not there just now? The woman picked up the red piece of paper and asked the old man. The old man looked over, and a trace of thought appeared on his face. I don't think there was this red piece of paper just now. Could it be from this middle-aged man? The woman didn't answer. She walked to the other side, saw a red piece of paper on the ground, and picked it up. There is only a white shadow on the city protection array. This red piece of paper was left by the murderer. It should be an assassin organization. It's not an undercurrent assassin organization. Could it be another organization? The woman frowned and put away the piece of paper in her hand. Confirm the identity of the deceased. Get someone to come and collect the body. The woman said, let's go. We can't find the murderer. The city guards took the body away and nodded. It was not uncommon for people to die in Holy See Town, and it was not uncommon for killers to kill people in the city. What was rare was to kill people in broad daylight, and it was on an exposed street. Every city had a formation that could monitor every corner of the city. But there was a problem. The room could not be seen, and it was blocked by something in the sky, so it could not be found. Therefore, when an assassin organization took action, they would usually do it at night in the room. This was the first time a woman had seen someone kill someone in broad daylight. However, they would only see the two red pieces of paper. Other than the two pieces of paper, there were no other clues. Hence, they would not continue to investigate further. After seeing the group of city guards leave, Wang Xian returned to the room with a faint smile on his face. "Ao Yao, is it because the formation can't see you guys?" Wang Xian said to the side with a smile. "It's the Dragon King. After advancing to Light Thorn, we will obtain a supernatural ability for every level up. After advancing to Extraordinary Level 2, we will obtain Light Shadow Supernatural Ability. Light Shadow Supernatural Ability. It can ignore any formation other than the demonic attribute." Ao Yao replied. Wang Xian nodded with a smile on his face. "I'm relieved now. Next, it's time for you guys to perform." Wang Xian smiled happily. One ignored the formation and the other possessed a terrifying and hidden race. When they wanted to assassinate someone, unless the other party was strong enough, they had to die. Next, when Ao Yao and the rest performed, they would soon shake the entire Shanghai town. This was also the first stronghold of the Dragon Assassin organization. Cultivate well. For a long period of time, we will need your strange demon clan. Wang Xian said to Ao Yao. "It's the Dragon King. Our strange demon clan will definitely become the strongest killer that will shake the supernatural continent in the future." Chapter 895, Daylight Assassination. "Bastard, how dare you kill a member of the Dogfish Mercenary Group?" At the city guard office, the vice leader of the Dogfish Mercenary Group and the other members of the Dogfish Mercenary Group had received the news. When they saw the corpse, they roared angrily. Vice leader of the Dogfish Mercenary Group, the deceased is not one person. The corpse of the other person has been taken away. I wonder if this person is a member of your Dogfish Mercenary Group. A city guard took out a portrait and asked him. Vice Commander Dogfish's brows twitched violently. "He's one of our members." The murderer left behind a red piece of paper. "We can't find any other information. It should be the work of the killer. If Vice Commander Dogfish has enough evidence to prove the murderer, we can arrest him." The city guard handed a red piece of paper to him and said. Vice Leader Dogfish took the paper with an embarrassed expression when he saw it, but he didn't recognize the words on it. In the entire Transcendence continent, other than Feng Wan who had been to Earth, no one could recognize the word "congratulations." "Bring the corpse with us. Let's go," Vice Leader Dogfish said to his subordinates with an embarrassed expression. "It's the Vice Leader." The members of the Squawk Shark mercenary group nodded, and their expressions were a little ugly. This was the fifth brother who went to spy on that young man, and now all of them were dead. Vice Leader, the one who killed the Eastern Han must be that young man. Since he dared to come back, he might be prepared. Do we still need to spy on him?" Wu Dazhuang walked out of the city guards and spoke to the vice regiment commander in a slightly frightened voice. At this moment, he felt extremely regretful. Yesterday, he had even mocked that young man. Could he have been assassinated just like his own dead squad members? Just thinking about it made him feel a little afraid. Send our brothers to guard the 4 city gates. Once he leaves, report immediately. I'll go look for Bai Qianjun and Qing Gaia. The vice commander of the Horned Shark mercenary group said with a cold expression. Interesting. They must know who did it or who bribed the assassins. At this moment, a woman was standing by the window on the 2nd floor of the city guard's office. She smiled as she watched the members of the Horned Shark mercenary group leave. It's very normal for these mercenary groups to kill each other. It's also very normal for them to hire assassins. An old man beside him said respectfully. It's alright to cause a little trouble. It's not good if it really gets out of hand. Forget it, it's not my fault even if you testify against me. The woman smiled and shook her head. Dragon King. At this moment, a group of draconids walked over from the remote room that Wang Xian had bought. Dragon King, we have all the information regarding the residences of the members of the Dogfish Mercenary Group. Also, we have also obtained the information regarding Bei Qianjuan's family and Qinggu Cliff. The 10 draconids stood beside Wang Xian and reported to him. Alright. Also, you have to think of a way to publicize the Dragon Assassin organization and let others know our contact details. Also, how to pay the remuneration. Wang Xian received the information with a smile and handed it to the side. Ao Yao, who was hiding at the side, received it directly. It's the Dragon King. Some assassin organizations will establish their own spies. There must be at least a dozen spies in each city. We can also develop our spies. Long Yi and the rest hesitated for a moment before saying. Develop our spies? Wang Xian hesitated for a moment before saying, you guys go and find some people whose lifespan is about to expire. Then, we promise to let them live for a few hundred more years. The price is to become our spies. Live for a few hundred years. The group of draconids was stunned for a moment before they revealed a shocked expression. Lifespan. Many people would definitely agree to let them be our spy if they were given lifespan. That's right. All of you go and look for those smart people. Those whose abilities are below Transcendent Level 1 will become our spy. We will also promise to give them some rewards. The number of people is around 20. Wang Xian said. Those who were not at Transcendent Level did not have a long lifespan. However, if they possessed the Divine Dragon bloodline, their lifespan would increase by at least a few hundred years. With a few hundred years of lifespan and a fixed monthly reward, it would be easy for them to find spies. It's the Dragon King. Leave this to us. We will definitely find the most suitable person. A draconid responded immediately. Alright, go. Wang Xian nodded his head. This afternoon, the 2 people who died here did not cause any commotion. The Dogfish Mercenary Group did not spread the news either. However, the failure of the Undercurrent Assassin Group and the death of 5 of their subordinates had already made the Dogfish Mercenary Group wary. Night arrived very quickly. It was in the base of the Dogfish Mercenary Group. Tell our brothers to be careful today. Don't sleep and be vigilant. Also, Ao Kuang, go to the Undercurrent Assassin Group and ask them why they haven't made a move yet. In a courtyard that spanned 5 to 6 acres, an old man sat in the center. He held a walking stick in his hand and frowned as he spoke to Ao Kuang. Yes, leader. I've already gone to Undercurrent's side. The other party said that the assassins they sent out have already been killed. The other party's strength is at least Transcendent 4th rank. They need to send out Transcendent 5th rank assassins. They need to add another 500,000 mid-grade spirit stones. Ao Kuang hurriedly replied. 500,000 mid-grade spirit stones? Why aren't they going to rob them? The old man's face was slightly embarrassed as he stared at Ao Kuang with dissatisfaction. Leader, I'll pay for this. He killed my daughter. No matter how great the price is, I'll destroy him. Ao Kuang saw the leader's expression and hurriedly said with an ugly expression. I'll leave it to you. Hurry up and kill that brat. I don't wish for any more brothers to die because of this. The old man slowly nodded. Yes. Night arrived quietly. Tonight, regardless of whether it was the Horned Shark Mercenary Group, the Bei Qianjun family, or the Qin Gaia family, none of them slept. They had no choice but to be careful since they were suspected of being assassinated by an assassin. As night fell, everyone was cultivating in the base. Within the Horned Shark Mercenary Group, there were 4 middle-aged watchmen on high alert. It's almost dawn. There's no movement at all. Our base has a transcendent tier 5 array defense. The moment the other party steps in, we'll be able to sense it. There's nothing wrong with being careful. There's nothing wrong with being on guard for the entire night. The four middle-aged men laughed as they chatted. As a powerful mercenary group, the reason they were able to reach this point was not just because of their strength. It was also because of their experience and patience. Even if there was a hint of danger, they would be 100% alert. They had provoked a young man and suspected that he had some strength, so they would treat him 100%. A lion uses its full strength when hunting a rabbit. When the sky was completely bright, the four middle-aged men became even more relaxed. There were even sounds coming from some rooms in the base. Seeing this situation, the four middle-aged men also walked into the rooms with smiles on their faces, ready to wash up. At this moment, almost invisible ripples appeared in the sky. Chapter 896, During the Day. The strange demon had evolved into a light thorn. Their most powerful assassination was during the day, and at night, they were not as strong as during the day. Moreover, the strange demon discovered that the members of the Horned Shark mercenary group were very vigilant. Their vigilance at night was even higher than during the day. The strange demon grasped this time and opportunity to directly enter the Horned Shark mercenary group. After entering, some members of the Horned Shark mercenary group were still cultivating, while some had already started to put on their clothes and wash up. I've been on guard for a whole night. In a room, a young man was wearing his clothes with slight dissatisfaction. Hee, kid, you should know that raising your guard is to protect your own life. Although it's a waste of a night to be on guard, it's still worth it. The middle-aged man who was in the same room as the young man reminded with a smile. It's best to kill that fellow as soon as possible. It saves us so much trouble. Peach, he dared to kill the daughter of our vice leader. If we meet him in the wild, his life would be worse than death. Let him know how powerful our Horned Shark mercenary group is. The young man still said with some dissatisfaction. Don't worry. Our leader is also paying attention to this matter now. That kid will die very soon. The middle-aged man said with confidence. I heard that brat is also a Heaven's Chosen. He entered the Demon Hunter Academy with the result of first place. Pitch, what a pity, he doesn't have a brain. The corners of the young man's mouth curled up slightly, and his eyes were filled with schadenfreude. Uncle Lee, throw my sword over. The young man tidied his clothes and stretched out his hand as he said. Uncle Lee. The young man suddenly realized that the middle-aged man didn't respond, nor did he make any sound. He turned his head around in puzzlement. Suddenly, his eyes widened, filled with disbelief. Cough cough cough. The young man clutched his neck, his eyes filled with terror. Soon after, his consciousness slowly disappeared and he fell to the ground. At the same time, the same thing happened in the other rooms. Who? In a room in the center, Ao Kwang was sitting cross-legged and cultivating. Suddenly, two balls of light appeared in the air. The white light had patterns on it, making it look like a completely white eye that was filled with strangeness. Piercing Pupil. The extraordinary third-level light-piercing divine ability, Piercing Pupil. Piercing Pupil could instantly find the opponent's weakness. It could clearly see the enemy's weak points in defense. The light-piercing dragon was another powerful divine ability. Buzz. When Piercing Pupil was activated, Ao Yao instantly charged towards Ao Kwang. Transcendence Level 3 assassinating Transcendence Level 5. Crossing 2 stages. Boom! Who dares to assassinate me? However, the moment Ao Yao attempted to assassinate him, Ao Kwang opened his eyes and shot out a terrifying cold light as he coldly roared. Die! When Ao Kwang saw Ao Yao who was already in front of him, he roared angrily. In an instant, his entire body was like an erupting volcano. A terrifying flame attacked Ao Yao. When Ao Yao saw that he was discovered by Ao Kwang, his expression did not change at all. His sharp fist instantly arrived in front of Ao Yao. Buzz! At this moment, Ao Yao increased his speed and directly met the terrifying flaming fist. What? When Ao Kuang felt that he was about to hit his opponent, his fist actually directly pierced through. How was this possible? How could his senses be wrong? His opponent seemed to have turned into air. Divine ability, nothingness. At this moment, a sharp claw pierced through Ao Kuang's body. Ao Kuang was shocked once more, and a hint of fear appeared on his face. The claw pierced through his heart. Why didn't it pierce through him directly? Could it be that he had discovered the heart armor on his chest? How was this possible? Pooh! In just an instant, the claw pierced through his heart, stirring it slightly. Die! Ao Kuang opened his eyes wide, blood and tears appeared in his eyes. With a wild howl, he gathered the power in his body and attacked in front of him. Whoosh! Ao Yao's expression changed drastically. He quickly flew into the air and escaped into the distance. Damn you, don't even think about escaping. Ao Kuang howled and the entire house was shattered under the terrifying power. Who dares to barge in? At this moment, an angry roar came from the side, and he quickly rushed out of the room. When he rushed out of the room, he immediately saw that Ao Kuang's room had already been shattered. His entire body was burning with flames as he stood there. Ao Kuang, who is he? The face of the captain of the Horned Shark mercenary group was extremely gloomy, and he roared at Ao Kuang in a deep voice. However, Ao Kuang did not reply. The flames on his body slowly disappeared and he stood there stiffly. The captain's face changed drastically. He moved and instantly appeared in front of Ao Kuang. When he saw the bloody hole on his chest, his expression changed drastically. However, he suddenly widened his eyes and stared at his surroundings in disbelief. Caw. Commander, what happened? At this moment, a middle-aged man and an old man walked out from 3 to 4 rooms and asked with a surprised expression. Commander Dogfish swept his gaze across the other rooms with a solemn expression and took a deep breath. Go to the other rooms and take a look. Yes, it's Commander. The 7 to 8 people widened their eyes and their expressions slowly darkened. They hurriedly walked towards the rooms at the side. What happened? At this moment, voices rang out one after another. In the sky, a woman and a dozen city guards flew toward them. The Dogfish mercenary group was located in the center of Holy Sea Town. Next to it was a bustling street. The arrogant roar, the violent aura, and the sound of the houses exploding instantly attracted many people around them. Especially at the place where the house exploded, there was a gap, so many people could see the situation inside the base of the Dogfish mercenary group. Leader, the others have all disappeared. There are blood stains on the ground, and there are red pieces of paper. 7 or 8 people walked out of the rooms one by one, with their eyes wide open, and said with a terrified tone. The leader of the Dogfish mercenary group had a gloomy expression on his face and did not say anything. Today, there were more than 40 people from the Dogfish mercenary group living here, and only 7 or 8 of them survived. Among them, Vice Leader Ao Kuang was also dead. Red paper. When the woman who flew over from the sky heard the words red paper, her face revealed surprise. The city guards behind her also looked at each other in shock. What happened to Captain Shark? The woman flew into the courtyard and asked with a frown. Look, it's Ao Kuang. He actually. At this moment, a city guard's shocked voice suddenly came from the side. Ao Kuang was the vice captain of the Shark mercenary group, an extraordinary 5th rank expert. In Holy Sea Town, he was also a big shot. His strength could definitely be ranked in the top 50. Now, he was actually assassinated. More than 30 members died. More than 30 people died. Captain Dogfish's body trembled, and his eyes were bloodshot. However, when they heard Captain Dogfish's words, everyone's expression changed slightly. Creak. At this moment, the magnificent 10-meter-wide door of the Dogfish mercenary group was pushed open, and a sound was heard. Everyone looked over, and their pupils couldn't help but shrink again. On the door was a 2-meter-wide red piece of paper. Below it were 3 lines of words from the transcendent continent. This piece of paper is called Congratulations. Congratulations on your death. Dragon Assassin Organization. Chapter 897, Shook the Holy Sea Town. This piece of paper is called Congratulations. Congratulations on your death. Dragon Assassin Organization. The woman standing in front of the city guards widened her eyes and read the words on the door in shock. A huge red piece of paper was stuck on the door. It looked festive, but the words on it made people feel inexplicably horrified. Congratulations on death. A red piece of paper. Dragon Assassin Organization. The door opened and attracted the attention of the people on the street outside. When they saw the piece of paper stuck on the door, they all widened their eyes. Dragon Assassin Organization? What kind of assassin organization is this? Why am I hearing about it for the first time? It's too arrogant, too domineering. It actually assassinated the vice leader of the Dogfish mercenary group. It seems that other than him, a lot of people died. Is this a newly established assassin organization? How terrifying. The surrounding people widened their eyes filled with fear. The Horn Shark mercenary group, one of the top 3 mercenary groups in the entire Holy See town, had been directly killed by an assassin. The death of the vice leader Ao Kwang was simply shocking. Ao Kwang, a level 5 transcendent, was a powerhouse in the entire Holy See town. Now, he was actually killed in the base. It seemed that this dragon assassin organization was able to assassinate most of the people in Holy See town, and even most of the powerhouses. Dragon Assassin Organization, Dragon Assassin Organization. 2 low growls came out of the mouth of the captain. His eyes were blood red, and he clenched his fists tightly. His body was emitting a terrifying aura. It's that kid, it must be that kid. You deserve to die, deserve to die. As he said that, his eyes flashed with a cold glint. He suddenly raised his head and gritted his teeth, his expression ferocious. Although the 30 over people who were assassinated today were not the full strength of the Dogfish mercenary group, they still took up half of it. This was his life's work. Now that half of it had been destroyed, how could he not be angry? That kid? The surrounding city guards looked at each other when they heard the words of the Dogfish mercenary group leader. This was a vendetta. It was normal on the transcendental continent, but the other party had hired an assassin. The woman standing in front took out a jade plate and looked at it, but she didn't find any traces. Just like yesterday, the assassin had concealed himself well. Looking at the red paper on the door, she not only sighed, this assassin organization was too arrogant. After killing, they had left a mark to prove that they had killed the person. They were extremely arrogant. Captain Dogfish, I'm sorry for your loss. A middle-aged city guard said after hesitating for a moment. He then looked at the woman in front of him. The woman nodded and the group walked out. This was their personal grudge. The city guards would not get involved and would not look for the murderer. Unless Captain Dogfish could produce enough evidence, they would not make a move to arrest him. They had no way to deal with the assassin organization. This was a world where force was the most important thing. If they really wanted to catch the assassins, it would be a pipe dream. Most importantly, if they really wanted to catch the assassins, they would become enemies with the assassin organization. The assassin organization didn't care if you were an official of the kingdom or a minister of the kingdom. Since they were enemies, it was possible to assassinate the public officials of Holy See town, or even the city guards. This wasn't impossible. The assassin organization was in the dark. If they didn't have the ability to completely eliminate them, it was best not to provoke them. Otherwise, there would be endless trouble in the future. Every kingdom and empire had an assassin organization. A powerful assassin organization even made the empire afraid. Their small Holy See town could not afford to offend an assassin organization. A group of city guards walked out. When the people gathered outside saw them, they discussed in low voices. The news of the assassination of the vice leader of the Dogfish mercenary group spread very quickly. The assassination of a transcendent level 5 expert spread throughout the entire Holy See town in the morning. When they learned of the actions of the Dragon Assassin organization, their faces were filled with shock. After the assassination, the assassin left behind a red piece of paper. The name of the paper is "Congratulations," which means, "Congratulations on your death." It's too arrogant. Dragon Assassin Organization, is this a newly established organization or an assassin organization from another place? This is the first time I've heard of it, but this assassination can be said to be famous after one battle. I wonder how to contact this assassin organization. Some people were discussing in shock, while others were thinking about how to contact the assassin organization. Many people knew that there was an undercurrent assassin organization in Holy See Town. The Undercurrent was the strongest assassin organization in the entire Star Moon Kingdom, but this assassin organization had too few people and too high a commission. Once it failed, it would only refund half of the commission. Unless forced, no one would hire assassins. Not to mention hiring powerful assassins to deal with their own enemies. Assassins were not easy to nurture, and not everyone could become an assassin. For example, if one wanted to become an assassin, one had to have a fixed inheritance and a fixed method of advancement. When an assassin wanted to become an assassin, they first had to possess a powerful concealment divine ability. Generally speaking, a divine ability corresponded to a corresponding attribute. For example, the supernatural ability of the Undercurrent would temporarily turn into water and enter the room. To execute this supernatural ability, one first had to possess the water attribute. Secondly, one had to comprehend this supernatural ability of turning into water. This was only the first step to becoming a killer. Just this step alone would stop countless people. This was only the beginning. To become a beginner-level killer, one could hunt warriors at the first or second stage of the extraordinary realm. Next, one had to comprehend the supernatural ability related to assassination. The comprehension of supernatural ability did not mean that one could comprehend any type of supernatural ability. It was very difficult to comprehend supernatural ability, let alone a fixed supernatural ability. It was several times more difficult. On the Transcendence continent, there were many warriors at the first level of Transcendence. Above that, it would decrease by several hundred times. Some people might not be able to comprehend a second supernatural ability even after 100 or 200 years. Even if an assassin comprehended a second killing divine ability, he would only be able to assassinate martial artists at the third level of the extraordinary realm. The success rate of assassinating martial artists one level higher than him would be less than 30%. Not to mention comprehending a fixed divine ability. However, if you didn't comprehend a fixed divine ability, that was fine. You were an assassin, but if you comprehended an area of effect attack with a large area of effect attack, then what was the point of assassinating? When you use your divine ability, others will notice it. An assassin would take advantage of their surprise and kill them in one strike. If they couldn't do it, they would immediately flee thousands of miles away. To an assassin, an area of effect attack was simply courting death. Moreover, not many people were willing to become an assassin who lived in the darkness, unless the assassin organization nurtured their own loyal assassins. Then, it was already rare for a 5th-rank extraordinary assassin to be nurtured out of 100,000 people. And the cost of nurturing such an assassin was too terrifying. The assassins in this world were not as easy to nurture as on Earth. Of course, if it was only to assassinate a martial artist at the 1st rank of the extraordinary, it would still be easy to nurture an assassin at this level. Clearly, this was only an assassin of a lower level. All sorts of harsh conditions resulted in very few assassins. Even the biggest assassin organization in Star Moon Kingdom, Undercurrent, had only assassinated a rank 9 transcendent. This had shocked the entire Star Moon Kingdom. Chapter 898 was shrouded in the light of death. Within a day, the entire Shanghai town was shaken by the Dragon Assassin organization. When Wang Xian realized that everyone in Shanghai town was shaken, he was slightly taken aback. Soon after, he understood that it was very difficult to train assassins in this world. Dragon King. At this moment, Long Yi and the rest came into the room and shouted at Wang Xian. We have found the 20 spies. Should we proceed with the next operation? The group of draconids said to him. Continue with the operation. If we only assassinate the members of the Horned Shark mercenary group, we might be exposed. Wang Xian said immediately. He waved his hand and said, this is 20 drops of dragon blood. Let them swallow it. Then, give each of them a communication stone plate. Tonight, I want all the upper-class people in Shanghai town to get the contact information of the Dragon Assassin mercenary group. After that, the light will envelop the entire Shanghai town. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slowly and said with a solemn face. It's the Dragon King. Let's get ready immediately. The group of draconids left immediately. Wang Xian had to control 100% of the spies of the Dragon Assassin organization. This way, even if the spies were caught, nothing would be leaked. These spies were all people who were about to die. Now that they had gained another few hundred years of life, they wouldn't refuse even if they knew that they could die at any time. However, every day that they lived was another day. Moreover, as long as they hid well, there wouldn't be any danger. The light will envelop the Holy Sea town. However, this is the light of death. Wang Xian mumbled. A day passed slowly. The leader of the Squawk Shark mercenary group gathered all the members who were carrying out their mission. After Bei Qianjun and Qing Gaia learned that Ao Kuang had been assassinated, their faces were filled with fear. They were afraid that it would be their turn tonight. When they thought of that young man, a hint of fear and embarrassment appeared on their faces. In order to seek revenge for their children urgently, they went to look for an assassin organization. However, they did not expect that the other party would also look for an assassin organization. Moreover, it was such a powerful assassins organization. At night, the Bei and Qing families were brightly lit. Bei Qianjun and Qing Gaia even gathered in a courtyard and sat there discussing countermeasures with embarrassed expressions on their faces. Ha! What should we do? What if this assassins organization comes to assassinate us? It shouldn't be. According to the information we've received, that kid lives in a slum area. He probably doesn't have that much money to hire an assassin. Let's hope so. Where did this Dragon Assassin organization come from? How can it be so powerful? The undercurrent branch in our Holy Sea town only has a transcendent level 5 assassin at most. The two of them talked with an embarrassed expression. Whoosh! At this moment, a flying knife suddenly flew towards them. Watch out! Watch out! The two's expressions changed drastically as they hurriedly stood up, their bodies emitting a terrifying aura. Bang! A flying knife landed on the pillar of the house. The two's expressions were filled with shock as they looked over. Hiss, this time. This is the piece of paper that congratulates death. Why did they send us a piece of paper? The two's bodies trembled as fear appeared on their faces. Bei Qianjuan's expression changed as he quickly walked over and pulled out the flying knife that was embedded in the pillar. His eyes flashed as he took the piece of paper. There are words on it. What's written on it? Qing Gaia quickly asked. It's the contact information of the Dragon Assassin organization. Bei Qianjuan's expression changed drastically as he looked at the contact information and immediately took out his communication stone plate. At the same time, all the powerful forces and families in the entire Shanghai town received a contact information from the Dragon Assassin organization. This caused the expressions of everyone in the entire Shanghai town to change slightly. Some of them frowned while some of them revealed a hint of viciousness on their faces. The next morning, the sun was still rising high in the sky. Wang Xian opened his eyes and revealed a smile on his face. He had a simple breakfast. Dragon King, there are already people looking for us. Wang Xian had just finished his breakfast when a group of draconids walked over excitedly and said to him. Is that so? The business is here already? Wang Xian was full of smiles. What mission? To assassinate the leader of an extraordinary level 4 mercenary group. The Draconids replied immediately. What is the character of the leader of the mercenary group? Wang Xian asked faintly. Although the Dragon Assassin group was established, Wang Xian did not make the group a zombie. There were 3 types of missions that the Dragon Assassin group did not accept. They did not accept missions to assassinate children. They did not accept missions to assassinate good people. They did not accept missions that exceeded the capabilities of the Dragon Assassin group. The 3 types of missions that the Dragon Assassin group did not accept could be considered as the bottom line of an assassin group. Dragon King, the leader of the mercenary group that the other party requested to assassinate, is not a good person. I heard that he has killed quite a number of members of the mercenary group in the wild. The group of Draconids knew the rules set by Wang Xian and would definitely follow them. They immediately said, "All right, Ao Yao, do it." Wang Xian nodded and said directly to the side, "It's the Dragon King." Ao Yao's voice rang out before it disappeared immediately. "Dragon King, there's another mission." Not long after, another Draconid walked over. There was another mission. The reward for the mission was extremely generous. If one were to assassinate a level 3 extraordinaire and obtain jade to buy elixirs, the reward would be increased by 20 dragon crystals. If one were to assassinate a level 4 extraordinaire and exchange it for dragon crystals, the reward would be 100 dragon crystals. Assassinating a level 5 transcendent expert would be worth 700 dragon crystals. Assassinations were far more profitable than mercenary missions. In a short morning, the Dragon Spike received 5 missions, one of which he rejected. For missions, assassinating 1 level 3 transcendent, 2 level 4 transcendents, and 1 level 5 transcendent. None of them were innocent people who could not be killed. Carry out the mission immediately. Wang Xian gave the order on the spot. Currently, the Dragon Assassin organization had a total of 21 strange demons who had evolved into light spikes. Including Ao Yao, there were a total of 8 level 3 transcendents. Light spikes with level 3 transcendents had an 80% success rate in assassinating level 5 transcendents. Kill. After Dragon Spike received the mission and obtained the commission through the spy, the Dragon Assassin organization took action. 1 was at rank 3 transcendent, 2 were at rank 4 transcendent, and 1 was at rank 5 transcendent. These 4 people were very weak to Dragon Spike. During the day, in a restaurant, a burly middle-aged man slammed the table and shouted, "Waiter, serve the wine." An old man was sitting in his shop with a smile on his face. A young man was walking toward the forging workshop with a weapon in his hand. A leader of a mercenary group led a group of members to the Red Chamber in an awe-inspiring manner. The sun was high up in the sky. The 4 of them were in the middle of a riot during the day, so they were not vigilant at all. The light of death shrouded them. Chapter 899, The light of death enveloped the area. This is great. The burly middle-aged man happily picked up the entire jar of wine and poured it into his mouth. There were not many people around the second floor of the restaurant. Some warriors quickly turned their heads when they saw the burly middle-aged man. This burly middle-aged man was not someone they could provoke. This is great. The burly middle-aged man wiped the wine from his mouth, reached out to pick up the wine jar, and raised his head. However, at this moment, a white light flashed. Cough, cough, cough. The burly middle-aged man's body stiffened slightly, and the wine in the wine jar that he lifted quickly poured into his mouth. However, what was terrifying was that the wine actually flowed out from his throat. Bang, bang. The middle-aged man's body fell to the ground, and the wine jar shattered. What's going on? The guests and waiters on the second floor were slightly shocked, and they quickly looked at the burly middle-aged man. When they saw the blood on the burly middle-aged man's neck, they were shocked. What? A middle-aged man widened his eyes, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. What happened? How? How did Li Xiong get killed all of a sudden? How is that possible? He was drinking just now. The wound on his neck, this. Look at that. It's a congratulatory note. It's the Dragon Spike. It's the Dragon Assassin Organization. My God, they killed people in the daytime, and they were right next to us. Li Xiong, a level 4 transcendent, was killed right away. Everyone on the second floor was shocked and couldn't help but exclaim. They didn't even see how the killer made his move. They didn't even see Li Xiong put up any resistance. He died directly. This made everyone feel a deep fear. This was a level 4 transcendent expert. At the same time, a young man walked towards the forging workshop. The Holy Artifact Workshop was located in the center of Holy Sea Town. It was one of the best workshops in the entire Transcendence continent. Young Master Zhu is here. Welcome, young Master Zhu. The young man had just walked to the entrance of the biological workshop when the attendant inside greeted him with a smile. Is my weapon ready? The young man raised his head slightly and said with a smile. Of course, young Master Zhu. The forging is ready and waiting for you to take it. In the future, when young Master Zhu enters East Sea Academy with the weapons of our holy item forging workshop, he will definitely be able to slaughter everyone. The waiter flattered him and turned around with a smile on his face, leading the way. The young man nodded proudly. As the most outstanding prodigy of Holy Sea Town, he would definitely be the most dazzling existence when he entered EASTSEA Academy. Everyone had to submit to him. He could have as many women as he wanted. At the thought of this, a devilish smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. However, at this moment, he felt a chill on his neck. His eyes widened and his entire body instantly lost all its strength. Young Master Zhu, please come in. At this moment, the waiter turned his head, bent his body and made a welcoming gesture with his arms. Bang! However, the young man's body fell straight into the holy item forging workshop, and blood slowly flowed out. Ah! A terrified scream came out of the waiter's mouth. At this moment, in 2 other places, the light of death also enveloped them. Soon, in less than half a day, the entire Holy Sea Town was boiling. In the courtyard of the city guard's office, 4 bodies were placed on the ground. Next to each body was a red piece of paper. After the incident with the Dogfish mercenary group yesterday, everyone knew what this piece of paper represented. Congratulations on death. The Dragon Assassin Group. At this moment, more than 100 city guards were standing at the side. The one in front was still the woman. A middle-aged man stood beside the woman. The middle-aged man had long hair like a waterfall and was wearing a long robe. He seemed to have a special temperament. Reporting to my lord, it's the Dragon Assassin Organization. They are simply too terrifying. They were assassinated in the daytime. Chapter 900, The Crazy Holy Sea Town. The middle-aged man's words made the surrounding 100 people slightly silent, and then they slowly nodded. First, this assassin organization appeared out of nowhere. It was extremely mysterious, and its strength was also extremely terrifying. They could not rashly provoke it. Second, this assassin organization had its own bottom line. They did not accept missions from children, and they did not accept missions from kind people. Just these 2 points alone made this assassin organization beyond their control. Some of the city guards even admired this Dragon Assassin organization for being able to stick to their bottom line. Disperse. Let their families come and collect the bodies. The middle-aged man waved his hand and said to them. Yes, sir. Everyone nodded and looked at the ground, slowly shaking their heads. Among the dead, the young man was the most outstanding student of St. Sea Academy in St. Sea Town. He had passed the East Sea Academy's assessment with excellent results. But now, he was killed. The city guards knew a little about this young man. He liked women and had once defiled a girl. He was not a good person. What a killer organization with personality. I want to join them. The woman in the middle stuck out her tongue and said with a smile. Alright, stop fooling around. The middle-aged man patted the woman's head and walked out with a smile. At this moment, everyone in Holy Sea Town was talking about the Dragon Assassin organization. It's too horrifying. A rank 5 transcendent was killed on the street. How could it be so terrifying? A 3-star silver-tier mercenary group leader was instantly killed by a group of subordinates. This is the most terrifying part. The Dragon Assassin group appeared out of nowhere. It's too powerful. Damn, I heard that many people now know the contact information of the Dragon Assassin group. Could it be that someone killed me? I feel that the Dragon Assassin group is even more terrifying than the undercurrent. They actually killed people in the middle of the city during the day without being discovered by anyone. This is unbelievable. It's definitely the work of a very powerful assassin. Whether it was in the hotel or in the Demon Hunter mercenary group, everyone was talking about it. They killed an expert in the middle of the city during the day without anyone noticing. It was so terrifying. So powerful. This assassin organization is so powerful. The mission that I issued this morning was completed by noon. Moreover, the method was so shocking. It's simply too powerful. This Dragon Assassin organization is so awesome. It's simply too awesome. When the people from the Dragon Assassin organization received the news, they were excited. They were happy that their opponents were not killed. No, the Dragon Assassin organization is too powerful. Will someone hire the Dragon Assassin organization to assassinate me? However, they soon became worried. The Dragon Assassin organization was so powerful. Would someone hire them to assassinate them? Not only these people, but everyone in Holy Sea Town was terrified. With the strength of the Dragon Assassin organization, would someone hire them to assassinate him? If someone did, wouldn't he be finished? Living in Holy Sea Town, which of the big families didn't have competitors? Would competitors hire the Dragon Assassin? Everyone was terrified. However, some people had a clear conscience. What are you afraid of? I have a clear conscience all my life. I have never done anything wrong. On the contrary, many people have received my favor. Even if I have offended many people, according to the rules of the Dragon Thorns, they will not accept my mission. That's right. Father has always been open and above board. In Shanghai Town, the reputation of our Tang family can be ranked in the top 3. Since the Dragon Thorns Assassin organization has given the rule of 3 no kill, they will definitely stick to it. Otherwise, an assassin organization would not take unnecessary actions. I'm not afraid, but you guys shouldn't do anything wrong. We have a lot of enemies. If your hands and feet are dirty, you deserve to be assassinated. Don't worry, Father. We didn't do anything wrong. Today, we will open the charity hall and help some people. Okay. The Tang family in Shanghai Town was also a relatively strong family. In the hall, everyone from the Tang family was talking. On the same day, the Tang family announced the opening of the charity hall to provide relief to those in need. Compared to the peace of mind of the Tang family, the others were much more apprehensive. In the evening, many people also learned about the 3 don't kill of the Dragon Assassin organization. This surprised many people, but at the same time, they were also somewhat impressed. An assassin organization actually set such a rule. It had to be said that it was definitely the first one on the transcendental continent. However, there were very few people who had a clear conscience and were truly kind. In this world where the strong were respected, there were very few of them. This made many people go crazy. Dragon King, since this afternoon, many people have contacted our Dragon Spur mercenary group. Up until now, we have accumulated 30 missions. The highest mission is to assassinate a level 6 transcendent, and the lowest mission is to assassinate a level 2 transcendent. At night, a group of draconids came to Wang Xian's room and reported to him. 30 missions? That many? Wang Xian was astonished and asked immediately. It's the Dragon King. There are many of them. Now, the entire Shanghai town is talking about our dragon assassin organization. The group of draconids said with fervent eyes, we need to select these 30 missions. Alright, we will accept the mission according to our rules. If the mission to assassinate a transcendent level 6 meets the requirements, we will accept it too. Wang Xian said directly. It's the Dragon King. The draconids nodded. Ding! The path of the strong does not lose its eyes due to benefits and strength. Congratulations, host, for obtaining the hidden mission set by the Light and Dark Dragon God. You have obtained the Heart of Light and Dark and the Heart of the Pricking Dragon. At this moment, the system's voice sounded. Wang Xian was slightly taken aback. This works? Wang Xian's face was filled with astonishment. Heart of Light and Dark, Heart of the Prickling Dragon. What is this? Just as he finished his sentence, a divine dragon suddenly appeared beside him. The divine dragon was half bright and half dark. It looked very strange. It was only the size of a palm and contained terrifying powers of light and dark. Buzz! The divine dragon moved and entered Wang Xian's heart directly. Boom! In an instant, Wang Xian felt the 5 elements' energy in his body trembling violently as if it was rejecting the entry of light and darkness. The heart of light and darkness seemed to feel extremely helpless and could only enter Wang Xian's head directly. In an instant, Wang Xian felt as if his head had exploded. Congratulations to host for merging with the heart of light and darkness. Congratulations to host for comprehending the divine ability, the eye of light and darkness. Congratulations to host for comprehending the divine ability, void. Congratulations to host for comprehending the divine ability, no formation. Host's level has increased. Congratulations to host for comprehending the piercing pupil. A series of system voices rang out, causing Wang Xian to be stunned. What is this heart of light and darkness? Why is it so powerful? Wang Xian's eyes were filled with astonishment. Chapter 901, On Light and Darkness. Ding, the eye of light and darkness, endless wood, piercing pupil and the eye of heavenly dragon are fused into the eye of light and darkness fire dragon. Ding, the void divine ability is transformed into the light and darkness void. Ding, the formless divine ability is transformed into the light and darkness void. Just when Wang Xian was shocked by the heart of light and darkness, the system's voice sounded again. This made him slightly stunned. With a thought, he immediately checked his information. Name, Wang Xian. Race, 5 elements divine dragon, able to transform into a human. Level, extraordinary level 3. Dragon crystal, 8/10,000. Supernatural ability, ruling the water tribe that is lower than one's level. Devouring creatures to extract dragon crystals. Control of the 5 elements. Cultivation method, divine dragon transformation. Supernatural ability, burning the river and boiling the sea, gold splitting the void, descending of the wood realm, water crisis city, fury of the earth, soul capture, spirit possession, light and dark fire dragon eyes, light and dark void, light and dark shadowless. Dragon Palace, level 2. Members of Dragon Palace, 3,255. I've actually comprehended all the supernatural powers of the prickly dragon, and it even evolved. This heart of light and dark. Wang Xian frowned and checked the reward that he suddenly received in his mind. When he finished reading the information about the heart of light and dark in his mind, his eyes sparkled. The heart of light and darkness was the supreme treasure of the divine dragon god of light and darkness. It could be integrated into the heart. The divine dragon god of light and darkness was the only divine dragon among the divine dragons who possessed both the light and darkness attributes. His abilities were ranked in the top 3 among the divine dragons. This heart of light and darkness was a supreme treasure that he had obtained unintentionally. It was also because of the heart of light and darkness that he was able to become the divine dragon of light and darkness. Just now, the heart of light and darkness wanted to enter Wang Xian's heart and turn him into the divine dragon of light and darkness. However, the power of the five elements was too powerful and directly repelled it. It could only reside in his mind. Even so, Wang Xian had obtained quite a number of supernatural powers. It had even increased his strength by one level. If he were to completely absorb the heart of light and darkness, his strength would definitely increase crazily. However, it was due to the attributes of the five elements. Although light and darkness were powerful, it was still impossible to replace the five elements. Although the heart of light and darkness did not replace the five elements, it still allowed me to live with some supernatural powers. Does this mean that I have a chance to become a divine dragon with all attributes, including the five elements of light and darkness plus wind and thunder? Wang Xian thought to himself. However, he shook his head immediately. He did not dare to think of a divine dragon with all attributes. The thorn dragon is the descendant of the light and dark divine dragon. As the saying goes, dragons have 9 sons, and each of them is different. The thorn dragon has inherited the innate talent and attributes of the light and dark divine dragon. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he looked at the heart of the thorn dragon. A thorn dragon that was the size of a palm was a combination of light and darkness. Its form was similar to the Ao Yao Yao of today. However, it was only half light and half darkness. The Ao Yao could only be considered as a half-completed spiky dragon. The main reason was that it only possessed the light attribute. Hence, it became the current light spike. In order to become a complete spiky dragon, one would need to evolve into a dark spike from a member of the dragon clan who possessed the darkness attribute. However, when they were combined together, they would form a spiky dragon. Ao Yao. Wang Xian looked at the heart of the spiky dragon and shouted to the side. Dragon King. Ao Yao revealed herself and looked at the heart of the spiky dragon that was floating in the air. Her eyes sparkled. Absorb it and you should be able to evolve into a complete spiky dragon. Wang Xian said to Ao Yao. It's the Dragon King. Ao Yao nodded and aimed her claws at the body of the heart of the spiky dragon. Buzz! The moment she touched it, the heart of the spiky dragon entered the body of the spiky dragon. Boom! In an instant, it was as if an energy exploded from the body of the thorn dragon. One of his eyes turned into a strange black color. Following that, half of his body began to slowly turn black. Half of it was light, and the other half was darkness. A real thorn dragon, wandering between light and darkness. The strongest assassination dragon of the divine dragon race, the thorn dragon. Boom! A strange aura was emitted from Ao Yao's body. Darkness and light interweaved. The arm that had claws was emitting white light. The side-like arm was emitting evil darkness. Wang Xian waved his arm and quickly resisted Ao Yao's aura. A thick smile appeared on his face. Thank you, Dragon King. A few minutes later, Ao Yao kneeled on the ground respectfully and thanked him. Not bad. Although your level has only increased by 1 level, you are now qualified to hunt down a level 7 extraordinaire. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. Ao Yao was already at the peak of level 3 extraordinaire. After the modification and evolution of the heart of the prickling dragon, he had directly upgraded to level 4 extraordinaire. With the strength of level 4 of transcendence and the complete inheritance of the prickling dragon, it was sufficient for him to possess the strength of a true divine dragon. Assassinating experts who were 3 levels above him. I have also obtained the divine ability of the prickling dragon. However, due to my size, I am still inferior to Ao Yao in assassination. Wang Xian looked at his arm. With a slight movement, his arm turned into nothingness. This was the divine ability, nothingness. Other than these few divine abilities, the strongest one was the light and dark fire dragon eyes. The light and dark fire dragon eyes were the fusion of 4 eye-related divine abilities. Now, it had the same ability as before. It was even more powerful. The heart of light and dark is located at the head. The eyes are also located here. It must be affected by the heart of light and dark. Wang Xian thought to himself. Dragon King, all the missions have been selected. At this moment, a group of draconids walked over and said to Wang Xian, Dragon King, we have discovered something interesting. Someone has offered a high price to assassinate you. Assassinate me? When Wang Xian heard their words, a smile appeared on his face. I've accepted the mission. You've accepted it? The group of draconids were slightly stunned. I've accepted it. In Shanghai town, there are only 3 people who will issue this mission. The leader of the Squalid Shark mercenary group, Bai Qianjun, and Qingguya. After accepting the mission and receiving the reward, kill them all. Wang Xian said with a smile. To hire an assassin, one had to give a reward in advance. After the reward was given, the assassin organization would take action. Now, they found an assassin to assassinate him and actually found the Dragon Assassin organization. How interesting. It's the Dragon King. The group of draconids nodded their heads. Wang Xian took out the communication stone plate and looked at the information on the mission. He shook his head slowly. After today, I believe the entire Shanghai town will be in chaos. More than a dozen important figures, TSK. Wang Xian passed the communication stone plate to Ao Yao and said, after the draconids receive their reward, we will act immediately. Yes. Ao Yao nodded and disappeared in an instant. This time, the communication stone plate in his hand disappeared as well. In the past, if Ao Yao had something in his hand, he wouldn't be able to disappear so quickly. Now, it was a piece of cake. Assassinating a level 3 extraordinary is equivalent to 20 dragon crystals in exchange for resources. Level 4 transcendent is equivalent to 100 draconic crystals. Level 5 transcendent is equivalent to 700 draconic crystals. Level 6 transcendent is equivalent to 2000 draconic crystals. Level 7 transcendent is equivalent to 10,000 draconic crystals. If these missions are completed and converted into resources, it can reach 5,000 draconic crystals. It cannot level up, but it can raise the dragon spike to a terrifying level. Chapter 902, Light and Darkness. In the past 2 days, the Holy See town had been filled with blood. Even the ordinary people could feel the special atmosphere of the Holy See town. Whether it was the restaurants, the tea houses, or the demon hunters mercenary group, everyone was in a panic. All of the reasons were because of the Dragon Assassin group. The 5 strikes of the Dragon Assassin group had shocked everyone. Everyone was afraid. What if their enemies hired the Dragon Assassin to assassinate them? Everyone had their own thoughts. If they could kill a level 5 transcendent on the street, who couldn't be assassinated by the Dragon Assassin? At night, some people took action. At 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening, when St. C town was still bustling with activity, old men picked up interspatial rings from their fixed positions. After checking the things inside, they left with smiles on their faces. These old men looked very ordinary. They had already lived in St. C town for more than half of their lives and knew many people. No one would doubt them. However, at this moment, it was this group of people who had become the secret informants of the Dragon Assassin organization. No one would have thought that. Do it. When the rewards were obtained one by one, it was time for the Dragon Assassin to perform. In this mission, the strongest one was a transcendent rank 6 powerhouse, the patriarch of the Holy See town family. His strength could be ranked in the top 10 in the entire Holy See town. In Holy See town, only the mayor was a transcendent rank 9, there was only one rank 8, 3 or 4 rank 7, and rank 6, which was already considered top-notch. There was only one rank 6 expert in the mission. In the past, it was impossible to assassinate a rank 6 expert with a dragon spike, but now, it was easy for a fully formed dragon Ao Yao to assassinate him. It was even possible to assassinate a rank 7 transcendent with 70% certainty. Moreover, for the Ao Yao, there was no difference between night and day. The night passed quickly. Someone's been killed. It's a dragon spike, a dragon spike. Master. Leader. At dawn today, the people of Holy See Town were woken up by screams of shock. In the entire Holy See Town, especially in the central area, more than 10 screams shook the central area. In the mayor's mansion in the center of Holy See Town, a middle-aged man instantly floated in the sky, his blue eyes sweeping around. "Father, what happened?" At this moment, a woman also flew into the void, looking at the middle-aged man with a surprised face. The appearance of the dragon spike has made some people go crazy. The middle-aged man looked at the nearest place and said slowly, "Crazy?" The woman seemed to be deep in thought, looking at the middle-aged man with a shocked expression. "That is? The Fenglian family? Their patriarch?" Her eyes widened in shock. The patriarch of the Fenglian family was one of the top 5 families in Holy See Town. Now, the patriarch had been assassinated. Hee, that's good too. Killing is peace, the middle-aged man said with a smile. Then, he flew down. Killing is peace? The woman murmured with a puzzled expression. Patriarch Fenglian was assassinated, a rank 6 transcendent. The captain of the Dogfish mercenary group was also killed, another rank 6 transcendent. The ancient forger was assassinated, a rank 5 transcendent. My God, I heard that in one night 2 rank 6 experts, 8 rank 5 experts, 9 rank 4 transcendents, and 13 rank 3 transcendents were assassinated. Crazy, it was the Dragon Assassin organization. In one night, more than 30 experts were killed. Congratulations on your death. When the Dragon Assassin's congratulatory note arrived, it proved that you were already dead. The head of the Fenglian family, the head of the Bei family, the head of the Qing family, the head of the Zhou family, the leader of the Horned Shark mercenary group, and the leader of the Black Ape mercenary group all died in one night. The whole Holy See Town was in an uproar. If the 4 people had been assassinated yesterday, then after that night, everyone was terrified. Everyone's faces were pale. Even the people who had hired the Dragon Assassin group yesterday looked a little embarrassed. Because yesterday, they could hire the Dragon Assassin group, and today, the other party could also hire the Dragon Assassin group. Fear rose in everyone's hearts. Wu Sandao, come out. The enmity between the two of us should be resolved today. Either we settle it peacefully, or we can go up to the arena and have a battle to settle our enmity. No one is to hire a dragon spike to assassinate us. Do you agree or not? Alright, little tiger. I was just about to look for you. Come, let's go to the restaurant. Let's settle our enmity today. Kong family, Gu family is here to settle our grudges today. Come out. In this situation, you guys don't want to fight to the death, right? Alright, let's settle our grudges today. Whoever hires the Dragon Assassin will die a horrible death. Alright, a battle between gentlemen, fair and square. In the morning, some people couldn't sit still anymore. FUCK, in this world where martial force was respected, which family didn't have an enemy? What if the enemy hired the Dragon Assassin organization? They could only settle their grudges peacefully. Thus, under the dumbstruck gazes of everyone in Holy See Town, the families that used to fight each other with swords. Those mercenary groups that wanted the other party dead or alive. And those enemies that had grudges. Today, they sat in the restaurant and the tea house to negotiate and reconcile. After the negotiations were successful, those hostile families stood up and shook hands with each other before heaving a sigh of relief and leaving. Seeing this scene, everyone was dumbstruck. FUCK, in the past, it was said that they would not rest until one of them was dead. Why did they shake hands and make peace now? Did they have any sense of shame? However, the people involved knew that this matter was not a matter of whether they were shameless or not. If their opponents suddenly became ruthless and found a dragon to assassinate them, wouldn't they be in trouble? They didn't want to die either. If their faces were gone, they would be gone. If their lives were gone, they would lose everything. After a night of slaughter, the entire Holy See Town actually became much more harmonious. However, what happened next shocked everyone. At noon, 5 or 6 families of Holy See Town collectively opened their doors of charity to help the poor families and the elderly who lived in Holy See Town. Even an alchemist family provided free medical aid to the poor. Seeing this scene, everyone widened their eyes. Fuck, all the families in Holy See Town were going to do a good deed? This dragon spike is so terrifying. The family that our city guards had to be careful with in the past, the mercenary group, is actually doing a good deed today. The rule of the dragon spike is not to kill good people. I heard that someone wanted to assassinate the head of the Tang family. The commission was very high, so the dragon spike directly rejected it. The dragon spike's 3 no-kills actually caused the current situation. A group of city guards walked on the streets as they patrolled. When they saw this scene, they were somewhat dumbstruck. The darkness had already arrived, bringing not only slaughter but also light. There was also light. Chapter 903, Phoenix Immortal Pill and Weapon Workshop. The overnight massacre had caused an unimaginable change in Shanghai town. This change was something that even Wang Xian didn't expect. Light and darkness exist in the world. Where there is light, there is darkness. Similarly, where there is darkness, there is light and the heart of light and darkness. Wang Xian mumbled to himself. He could somewhat understand why light and darkness could be fused together. 2 completely opposite attributes could be fused together. This was the nature of the great Tao and the truth of heaven and earth. However, the darkness has yet to disappear. Wang Xian was full of smiles. The dragon thorns had brought darkness to the Holy See Town. In the darkness, some people had turned into demons. Nowadays, even though the demons had absorbed the blood, they still existed. Many people had resolved their hatred and done good deeds during the day. However, there were still some people who still had demons in their hearts. At least for the next few days, the demons would not disappear. Dragon King, this is all the rewards from yesterday. We received a lot fewer missions today, but there are still 7 more. The Draconid came to Wang Xian's side and reported to him. Wang Xian took the interspatial ring and nodded slowly. Continue. I reckon that we will receive very few missions in the next 2 days. After these few days of craziness, the Holy See Town would regain its peace. The following missions might not be as frequent. However, the spiritual stones earned in these 2 days were sufficient. Furthermore, he would let the Draconids develop their businesses in other locations. Especially in Donghai City. The Demon Hunters Academy in Donghai City would enroll new students 1 month later. Similarly, Donghai City was close to the ocean. When he arrived there, Wang Xian would have to develop his business. It would be best if he could find an address of the Dragon Palace in the surrounding ocean. He would establish his foundation in this world. In the next 2 days, people died at the hands of the Dragon Assassin organization every day. The red congratulatory death note was also made known to everyone in Shanghai town. It was only on the 3rd day that the Dragon Assassin organization did not receive any missions. In the short span of 4 to 5 days, the Dragon Spike received more than 50 missions, and the number of extraordinary 6th rank experts assassinated reached 4. The Dragon Spike's battle results caused the entire Holy See Town to tremble, and even the undercurrent assassin group directly withdrew from Holy See Town. A small town had another powerful assassin group, so there was no need for them to fight for territory. In just a few days, I have harvested a few million middle-grade spirit stones, which is enough to buy many elixirs. Next, I have to increase the strength of the members of the Dragon Spike. Wang Xian walked out of his room and headed toward the center of the town. He was going to buy elixirs. The center of the town was still bustling with activity. The assassinations over the past few days had not affected many people. Looking around, there were many elixir stores and weapon stores. However, the 3 largest stores were still the Holy Item Forging Workshop, the Life and Death Elixir Workshop, and the Immortal Phoenix Elixir and Weapon Workshop. These 3 stores were the 3 largest stores in Holy See Town. 90% of people would go to these 3 stores. The 3 stores were very close to each other. With the stores wide open, one could see all kinds of weapons and elixirs inside from the outside. The martial artists who were passing by couldn't help but stop and look inside. Feng Xian. Wang Xian walked towards the Feng Xian elixir and weapons workshop with a smile. Welcome, young master. Would you like to buy elixirs or weapons? As soon as he entered, a female attendant came up to him with a smile and asked Wang Xian. Elixirs. Wang Xian replied directly and looked at the location of the elixirs. Young master, that is the area for elixirs. Young master, you can choose by yourself. The female attendant pointed to the right and said. Wang Xian nodded and walked over. There were quite a number of customers in the Feng Xian elixir and weapons workshop. There were also more than a dozen people in the elixir area. Some were asking about the price while others were asking about the effects of the elixirs. From ordinary pills to transcendent level 5 pills, they were all sold. As for higher grade pills, they were not placed on the stage. More expensive pills were sometimes auctioned. The Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop would sometimes auction some precious pills on the second floor. Shopkeeper, have you got the detoxification pills? At this time, 4 or 5 people who were obviously members of a mercenary group walked in and asked the old man standing inside. I'm sorry, everyone. We don't have the detoxification pill yet. We lack a kind of spiritual herb. The shopkeeper shook his head bitterly. Why don't we have it yet? How are we going to go to the Black Sea area to do a mission? The 5 people frowned and showed some impatience on their faces. Sigh, why can't all the pill workshops in the Holy Sea town buy it? After saying that, the 5 of them left immediately. The old shopkeeper shook his head slowly. Wang Xian took a look. In the Transcendence continent, not only were there powerful elixirs, but there were also many elixirs that could resist poison, detoxify poison, and provide special assistance. Some places would have miasma while some ferocious beasts and demonic beasts contained poison. Hence, special elixirs were needed to provide assistance. The prices of these elixirs were not low either. However, they were essential items for the mercenary group. Shopkeeper Liu, Heaven Billow Grass. At this moment, a hearty laugh came from outside. Heaven Billow Grass, found it. Shopkeeper Liu, who was sitting inside, was slightly stunned. Soon after, an excited expression appeared on his face, and he hurriedly walked out. Commander San Si, have you really found it? Shopkeeper Liu asked somewhat excitedly. Of course, 35 stalks, the rarest ingredient to refine the detoxification pill. Outside, a dozen middle-aged youths stood there, their faces beaming with pride. Good, good. We are willing to give you a satisfactory reward after the Mercenary Association's mission reward. Of course, if Commander Shanghai wants to exchange it for pills, that's fine too. Shopkeeper Liu said to the middle-aged man excitedly. Okay. The middle-aged man nodded with a smile on his face. Wait, Commander Shanghai, how about you give us the Heaven Billow Grass? At this moment, a voice came from the side, we will also give Commander Shanghai a satisfactory reward. A woman slowly walked out and looked at Commander Shanghai and the others with a smile on her face. Shopkeeper Qing, what do you mean? Shopkeeper Liu looked at the woman with a gloomy face and asked with a gloomy face. The one with the highest price gets it. The woman said with a smile on her face. Hehe, the one with the highest price gets it. Commander Shanghai is a cooperative mercenary group of our Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop. Don't tell me Shopkeeper Qing wants to buy it at twice the price. Shopkeeper Liu asked with a cold smile. Twice the price is too high. Shopkeeper Qing shook his head with a smile on his face. He turned his head and looked to the side. Commander Shanghai, do me a favor and give this Heaven Billow Grass to Shopkeeper Qing of the Life and Death Medicinal Pill Workshop. Let's be friends. At this moment, an old man slowly walked over. His gaze swept the surroundings before finally landing on Commander Shanghai and the others. Oh? Seeing the old man arrive, shopkeeper Lu's expression instantly changed. Chapter 904, Phoenix Immortal Crisis. An old man and a one-armed, one-eyed old man. The old man looked extremely ugly. There was a long scar on his face. The scar was 3 to 4 centimeters deep. That eye was directly blinded by this attack. Even if such an old man had a smile on his face, he still looked extremely ferocious. The murderous aura on his body could not be hidden at all. Dao Hen. Shopkeeper Lu's expression changed slightly, and he shouted at the one-eyed old man involuntarily. Commander Dao Hen. The middle-aged commander of the Sand Sea mercenary group at the side also had a slight change in expression, and he shouted at the old man. Dao Hen was a very strange name. No one would choose this name. In fact, the old man was not called Dao Hen in the past. However, when he was middle-aged, which was 100 years ago, he was only the commander of a bronze mercenary group. Later, when he was on a mission in the wild, he was ambushed by another mercenary group and was almost killed by a slash. However, he was lucky enough to escape death. Since then, he let others call him Dao Hen. 2 years later, he killed the mercenary group that ambushed them. Ever since that narrow escape, Dao Hen began to rise. He even used 100 years to establish Dao Hen mercenary group. The number 1 mercenary group in Holy Sea Town, the leader of a 5-star gold mercenary group. A rank 7 transcendent. Dao Hen's strength and influence in Holy Sea Town could be ranked in the top 3. He didn't have any enemies in Holy Sea Town, because those who provoked him were already dead. Dao Hen was a legend in Holy Sea Town, and no one dared to provoke him. Hee, how is it? Commander Sand Sea. Dao Hen looked at the shocked expressions of the people around him and ignored them. He looked at Commander Shanghai with one eye and said with a faint smile. However, in Shanghai's eyes, Dao Hen's smile and eyes seemed to be full of warning. This made his forehead break out in a cold sweat. Dao Hen's name was not something that a 5-star silver mercenary group like him could provoke. But... Commander Shanghai stuttered as he looked at Shopkeeper Lu. Shopkeeper Lu saw Dao Hen's invisible threat and his expression was extremely ugly. Dao Hen, the Shanghai mercenary group is our partner. Do you wish to withdraw your threat? Threat? Did I threaten Commander Shanghai? Shopkeeper Lu, you can't speak carelessly. Dao Hen turned to Shopkeeper Lu in surprise and said with a smile. Shopkeeper Lu looked at Dao Hen's expression and his face darkened. Dao Hen, are you going to interfere in our matters with the Life and Death Pill Workshop? I'm not involved. I'm just asking Commander Shanghai to give face. Why? Are you going to interfere with this, Shopkeeper Lu? Dao Hen's gaze was somewhat cold as he stared at Shopkeeper Lu. When he was cold, he looked even more terrifying, as if he was going to attack at any time. Hee, Dao Hen, you and I are not young. We all know what you mean. Manager Lu said coldly with a dark face. Speaking of which, he was really not afraid of Dao Hen. Even if he was the commander of the strongest mercenary group in Holy Sea Town, everyone feared Dao Hen. However, he had the support of the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop. The power behind him was not something that a 5-star gold mercenary group could provoke. Even with the power of the Risk Pill and Weapons Workshop, destroying Knife Scar was like squashing an ant. Of course, with the power of Holy Sea Town's Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop, it was much weaker than Knife Scar. However, this title was enough. Shopkeeper Lu, Commander Dao Hen is a friend of our Life and Death Pill Workshop. Why? Do you want to suppress our friend? Do you think we are afraid of you? At this time, the woman next to him said with a smile on her face. Shopkeeper Lu's face darkened and he didn't say anything. Commander Shanghai, who was sandwiched in the middle, looked even more embarrassed. In this place, their strength was the weakest. If they offended one of them, they would have no place in Holy Sea Town in the future. Manager Lu, I don't need you to lecture me. Since you say that I'm threatening, then threaten me. Manager Lu, who was at the side, smiled darkly. It seems that Commander Dao Hen is going to completely make things difficult for us, Phoenix Immortal. Manager Lu narrowed his eyes and said to Dao Hen. Old thing, you only have the strength of a transcendent 4th rank, yet you dare to talk to me like this. Do you really think that I have to respect you just because you have the backing of the Phoenix Immortal Pill and Weapons Workshop? A threat? I'll show you what a threat is today. Dao Hen's face suddenly became ferocious. He looked at the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop with one eye and said coldly, Everyone from the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop, get out here. In the future, you'd better not let me see you step into it again. Suddenly, Dao Hen shouted directly into the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop. His cold voice spread across the surrounding streets. All the people in the shop were slightly shocked, and their faces showed astonishment. However, when they saw Dao Hen outside, their faces changed, and they walked out in surprise. Dao Hen, do you know what you are doing? Shopkeeper Lu saw Dao Hen directly threatening the customers in the shop, and his face changed greatly. He stared at Dao Hen and asked. Do you want me to repeat it again? In the future, don't let me see anyone enter the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop. Dao Hen coldly pointed at the shop's signboard and said with a smile. Everyone who had just walked out looked at it in shock. Dao Hen actually dared to go against the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop? What's going on? What happened? Why did Dao Hen have a conflict with the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop? Although the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop's strength is not as good as Dao Hen's, this is still a huge pill and weapons shop after all. The power behind it is extremely terrifying. Why would Dao Hen provoke it so recklessly? Some of the martial artists who passed by were shocked as they stood around and watched. Did you hear that? Dao Hen's face was full of smiles as he slowly spat out 2 words. I heard it. When the customers who walked out saw Dao Hen's expression, their expressions changed slightly. In St. C Town, they could choose not to come to the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop, but they absolutely could not provoke Dao Hen. I also don't recommend that everyone go to the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapons Workshop to buy things. If you want to buy weapons and pills, you can go to the Life and Death Pill Formula and the Holy Item Weapon Workshop. At this moment, a loud laughter was heard. Everyone quickly looked over and saw a middle-aged man and an old man leading a group of people over. That is the shopkeeper of the Holy Item Forging Workshop and the leader of the Mirage Sea Mercenary Group. Look, shopkeeper Ching of the Life and Death Pill Workshop is also here. Could it be that this is a game between the 3 major forces? When the surrounding people saw the people from the Biological Forging Workshop arrive, their expressions changed slightly as they whispered their suspicions. Shopkeeper Lu's expression also changed drastically as his eyes flickered with a luster. This was a premeditated counterattack, a game between the 3 great forces. However, it was clear that their Phoenix Immortal Pill and Weapons Workshop had been targeted. This caused his heart to sink. No wonder Dao Hen dared to go against them. Chapter 905, Poor Kid. At the center of Holy Sea Town, in front of the 3 largest pill and weapon workshops, a dense crowd gathered. Life and Death Pill Workshop. Holy Item Forging Workshop. Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapon Workshop. The 3 top forces, these 3 pill and weapon workshops, occupied 50 to 60% of the continent's pill and weapon. 50 to 60% was already a very terrifying number, almost a monopoly. It was the same in St. C Town. The other small pill and weapon workshops were living in the cracks between them. The Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapon Workshop had risen in the past 2 years. Its rise was extremely terrifying, and it quickly took over the entire Star Moon Kingdom. It sold both pills and weapons. It was obvious that the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapon Workshop would offend the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Pill Workshop. Today, this situation was clearly targeted by the two great factions. The surrounding people were discussing this scene in hushed tones. Shopkeeper Lu stood there with an extremely ugly expression. The employees of the Phoenix Elixir and Weapons Workshop walked out one by one and watched this scene with indignation. The two major forces were targeting each other. The number 1 mercenary group in the Holy See, the Knife Scar mercenary group, and the number 4 mercenary group in the Holy See, the Mirage Sea mercenary group. With the help of the two major mercenary groups, the Phoenix Elixir and Weapons Workshop was helpless in such a situation. At this moment, Wang Xian, who was standing in the shop, was watching this scene with a twinkle in his eyes. It seems that the shop set up by Feng Luan has been targeted. Wang Xian was deep in thought as he looked at the leader of the Sword Scar and Mirage Sea mercenary groups. One of them was at level 7 and the other was at level 6 of the supernatural realm. Furthermore, they had 400 to 500 people in their mercenary groups. They were definitely a big force. Since we have bumped into each other, let's help. Wang Xian was full of smiles as he looked at the stunned crowd. He shouted with a smile, "Everyone from Fengxian, are you still doing business? Buy some elixirs." His voice suddenly rang across the entire street, causing everyone around to be slightly stunned. Especially shopkeeper Dao Henqing and the rest. When they heard this voice, they immediately looked towards Wang Xian's location. This young man. An old man opened his mouth in astonishment. What is this young man doing? Buying things at this time? Is he that stupid? What an idiot. After what happened to him, Dao Hen even shouted. How dare he buy things at this time? That's true. There are more and more brainless people nowadays. Do you guys think Dao Hen will make an example out of this kid? It's hard to say. However, judging from the clothes on this kid's body, the most he can buy is a level 1 extraordinary elixir. Everyone's gaze was focused on Wang Xian as they discussed in a low voice. Even Manager Lu, who was at the side, was stunned. However, at this moment, there were still people who dared to come to their shop to buy things. Even if it was the cheapest elixir, they would still sell it. Go and receive this little brother. Manager Lu said to a salesperson with a sullen face. I didn't expect to meet a brainless guy. Dao Hen's face turned sullen when he saw that Wang Xian still dared to buy things at the Fengxian Elixir and Weapons Workshop after hearing his words. So be it. Look, only a stupid guy would buy things at Fengxian. Those with a little bit of intelligence wouldn't buy them. However, shopkeeper Qing, who was standing at the side, didn't get angry. Instead, she said with a loud laugh. I hope that the others won't be as stupid as this little guy. As she said that, she swept her gaze across everyone gathered around her with a face full of smiles. Finally, her gaze fell on Shopkeeper Lu once again. Shopkeeper Lu, why aren't you going over to serve the customer in your shop? Who knows, the other party might buy a transcendent tier 1 medicinal pill. A mocking voice rang out in the surroundings, causing Shopkeeper Liu's expression to change drastically. Shopkeeper Lu, hurry up and go. If your service isn't good enough, that foolish brat might not be buying medicinal pills from you anymore. Beside him, the shopkeeper of the Holy Item Forging Workshop was also laughing out loud as he mocked. In the future, with the Life and Death Medicinal Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop targeting us, Fengxian is finished. Sigh, there are many things in Fengxian that are cheaper than the two of them. However, with the presence of Dao Hen and the Mirage Sea mercenary group, who would still dare to go to Fengxian to buy things? Only those foolish brats would dare to go there. Even if they were to buy, they would probably only buy transcendent level rank 1 medicinal pills. They might not even be at the transcendent level. The people around were discussing softly. Foolish kid. At most, he would buy elixirs of level 1 extraordinaire. Wang Xian was standing at the entrance. When he heard their sarcasm, a hint of disdain flashed across his eyes. He swept his gaze across the surroundings and the corner of his mouth curled up slightly. Manager Lu, I want to buy a large number of elixirs. Please come over and we can have a discussion. Ha! Wang Xian suddenly spoke again, causing Manager Lu's expression to change. He was a little surprised and in disbelief. Shopkeeper Lu, hurry up and go. Maybe the other party wants to buy 2 extraordinary first-level pills. At this moment, Shopkeeper Qing's teasing voice came from the side. Everyone around felt that it was funny. They suspected that this young man was someone that the Life and Death Pill Workshop and the Holy Item Forging Workshop had deliberately found and humiliated them. Manager Lu had also thought of this. His face was so gloomy that blood almost dripped from it. However, as a manager, if he didn't go over, he would definitely become a weakness for the other party. Wang Xian saw everyone's mockery of Manager Lu and revealed a faint smile on his face. He moved his arm. Crash! In an instant, middle-grade spirit stones landed at the entrance of Feng Xian's interspatial ring. The crisp and melodious sound caused everyone to be slightly stunned. This! Everyone looked over and their eyes widened. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. Spirit stones, middle-grade spirit stones, piles and piles of middle-grade spirit stones were released from the interspatial ring. Walala! The sound was still not over. Slowly, spirit stones that were 3 meters tall, 5 meters long, and 2 meters thick were piled up like a wall. The middle-grade spirit stones were pure and emitted spiritual energy. Under the sunlight, they emitted a 7-colored glow. I want to buy elixirs. I want to buy elixirs that cost 8 million middle-grade spirit stones. Wang Xian said to Manager Lu with a smile on his face. Manager Lu's eyes were wide open. He was completely stunned. The surrounding manager Dao Henqing and the people from the Holy Item Forging Workshop were also stunned. Hiss, this. Everyone around also widened their eyes and sucked in a breath of cold air. Their faces were filled with shock as they looked at the pile of middle-grade spirit stones that formed a wall. 8 million, this was 8 million middle-grade spirit stones. The corpse of a transcendent rank 6 demonic beast was worth between 500,000 to 800,000. The corpse of a demonic beast could be refined into medicine and weapons. Its value was several times higher than transcendent rank 6 medicinal pills and weapons. However, these 8 million mid-grade spirit stones could buy the corpses of more than 10 transcendent tier 6 demonic beasts. They could buy 50 to 60 transcendent tier 6 pills and weapons. 50 to 60 pills? What kind of concept was that? Chapter 906, 8 million medium-grade spirit stones. There were no more than 20 extraordinary 6th-grade experts in the entire Holy See town. However, these extraordinary 6th-grade experts would definitely fight for a transcendent 6th-grade medicinal pill. 8 million medium-grade spirit stones was equivalent to the annual turnover of the 3 largest shops, the Life and Death Pill Workshop, the Saint Item Forging Workshop, and the Immortal Phoenix Pill and Weapon Workshop. 8 million middle-grade spirit stones wasn't a lot in the entire Holy See town. However, this young man had taken out 8 million middle-grade spirit stones in one go. A poor kid. A foolish fellow. Looking at the 8 million middle-grade spirit stones that were flickering with light, everyone's minds were in a daze. Most of the people in the surroundings had seen the most spirit stones in their entire lives, and these were probably the ones before their eyes. If they were not in the city, everyone would have gone crazy to snatch them. Cough cough, cough cough. Shopkeeper Lu suddenly coughed violently. There was a flash of passion in his eyes as he said, Young master, are you really going to use all of them to buy elixirs? Do you think I'm joking with you? Wang Xian smiled faintly. No. How could this be? Young master, we will immediately prepare whatever elixirs you want to buy. If there isn't enough in the shop, we will immediately go to other shops to get them. Shopkeeper Lu waved his hand quickly and walked up to him with a face full of enthusiasm. He was afraid that Wang Xian was teasing him. Fuck, there were so many spirit stones. As long as he could get this business, it would be equivalent to 2 to 3 years of Feng Xian's turnover. So what if he was being ostracized by the other two major forces? In 2 to 3 years, he would have a way to tide over this crisis. Shopkeeper Lu looked at him with excitement and anticipation. Wang Xian waved his arm and kept all the spiritual stones into his interspatial ring. Then, he threw the interspatial ring directly to Shopkeeper Lu. Go in and get the elixirs. When Shopkeeper Lu saw that Wang Xian had thrown the interspatial ring that contained 8 million spiritual stones over, his arm trembled as he hurriedly took it. All right. Young master, what kind of elixirs do you want? We will prepare them for you. Shopkeeper Lu's face was flushed red. Damn it, the other party actually gave him the interspatial ring directly. This business was 100% successful. Wang Xian nodded his head faintly. It wasn't that he trusted Shopkeeper Lu, but rather, he trusted Feng Yuan. Something had happened in Feng Xian's elixir and weapons workshop. He would help as much as he could. All right. Wang Xian nodded his head faintly. This. However, Shopkeeper Qing of the Life and Death Elixir Workshop, the shopkeeper of the Holy Item Forging Workshop, Dao Hen and the rest were completely dumbfounded. They were still ridiculing Shopkeeper Lu earlier on. They even said that the kid was a poor kid who could only buy 2 extraordinary first-level elixirs at most. In an instant, it was a slap in the face. Moreover, it was so loud and clear. Their mockery seemed to be mocking themselves in front of the 8 million spiritual stones. This caused everyone's expressions to change drastically. The real person doesn't show his face. Who would have thought that he actually has so many spirit stones? Oh my god, I really can't believe it. He's too rich. FUCK, after this Feng Xian completes this business, she can completely close the shop for 2 to 3 years. The eyes of everyone around flashed with shock. They looked at shopkeeper Dao Hen Qing and the others, their expressions somewhat mocking. That's right, they were mocking. Shopkeeper Qing and the others' expressions slowly became ugly. She looked at Dao Hen at the side. Dao Hen's one eye flashed with a luster. I said, whoever dares to buy things from the Phoenix Immortal is not giving me face, kid. Dao Hen, I'm warning you. If you dare to threaten our customers, the Life and Death Medicinal Pill Workshop will definitely not be able to protect you. Shopkeeper Lu was instantly enraged when he heard Dao Hen's voice. He turned his head and stared at him coldly. Dao Hen's expression changed slightly when he heard Shopkeeper Lu's angry threat. If he were to say that he had so arrogantly ruined Feng Xian's 8 million middle-grade spirit stones business, he did not dare to guarantee that the forces behind Feng Xian would directly send experts to eliminate him. That was because the benefits this time were too great. Young master, don't worry. If anyone dares to threaten you, I will immediately report this matter to the headquarters. I believe that the headquarters will definitely send experts to eliminate the person who threatened you. Shopkeeper Lu assured Wang Xian forcefully. I believe. Wang Xian smiled faintly and walked straight into the shop. He was not afraid of Dao Hen or the Mirage Sea mercenary group at all. Ao Yao's current strength was stronger than Wang Xian's. She could definitely fight against Dao Hen. Alright, what kind of pills do you want to buy, young master? Shopkeeper Lu asked respectfully. Someone who could take out 8 million middle-grade spirit stones in one go must be extraordinary. Bring all the elixirs in your shop that can improve your cultivation. Wang Xian said to Manager Lu directly. All the elixirs that can improve your cultivation. Good. Manager Lu was slightly surprised. However, he nodded immediately and led him to the back. The elixirs that could improve one's cultivation contained a lot more dragon crystals than those that could detoxify the poison. 8 million spirit stones to buy these elixirs could be exchanged for 5 to 6,000 dragon crystals according to Wang Xian's estimation. 5 to 6,000 dragon crystals was not enough to upgrade Wang Xian, but it was enough to upgrade the group of thorn dragons. At the very least, it would be able to nurture another Transcendent Level 4 light spike. The rest of them would be able to upgrade to Transcendent Level 3 without any problems. Young man, you have bought so many of our pills. I can make the decision and give you the cheapest price. I can make the decision by giving you a 10% discount. Shopkeeper Lu said to Wang Xian, if this young master wants to buy pills, you can come to me. I will definitely give you the cheapest price. All right. Wang Xian took the bottles of pills and placed them into his interspatial ring. Then, he had an idea and asked, Shopkeeper Lu, may I know what kind of mission your Feng Xian has issued in the hiring association? Mission? Manager Lu's face was filled with astonishment. We didn't issue many missions either. There were only 3. Among them, the mission to find the heaven below grass has the highest level. It's a 5-star silver mission. The remaining one is a 4-star bronze mission and a 5-star bronze mission. As Manager Lu spoke, he took out a mission stone plate. Pointing at it, he said, these 3 missions were issued by U.S. However, these 3 missions were also issued by the Life and Death Elixir Workshop and other small pharmacies. Therefore, we will give them some rewards after we have completed the mission. It's also for them to give us the mission items. Wang Xian nodded his head slowly. All right, goodbye. As he spoke, he walked straight out. Young master, if you need anything in the future, you can come and look for me. Shopkeeper Lu said hurriedly. Don't worry, we will meet soon. Wang Xian waved his hand and walked out. At the entrance, shopkeeper Dao Henqing and the people from the Holy Item Forging Workshop had not left yet. When they saw Wang Xian coming out, they looked extremely embarrassed. It was a business of 8 million middle-grade spirit stones. Hee hee. Wang Xian smiled faintly and left in a carefree manner. Chapter 907, Target, Gold Mercenary Group. Who is this kid? How could he take out 8 million middle-grade spirit stones? On the street in front of the Phoenix Immortal shop, shopkeeper Qing asked Dao Hen with an embarrassed expression. Dao Hen's eyes flickered with a dark expression, but he didn't say anything. Humph, so what if you take down a huge business? In the future, there will be no place for them in Holy See Town. Shopkeeper Qing snorted coldly with an embarrassed expression and left angrily. When the people from the Holy Item Forging Workshop saw this scene, they raised their eyebrows and returned to their own shop. Dao Hen and the rest of the mercenary group also left, leaving behind the passers-by who were filled with shock and discussion. Mission. At this moment, Wang Xian, who was walking towards his residence, opened the mission stone tray and looked at the missions on it. There were 3 missions issued by the Fengxian Elixir and Weapons Workshop. They were, Bronze 4-star Star Grass, Bronze 5-star Blood Flame Stone, and Silver 5-star Star Sky Wave Grass. The Star Grass and Sky Wave Grass were located in the Black Sea area. The Black Sea area was a place that the mercenary group was very keen to visit. The Black Sea area was located 60 kilometers away from the shore of Shanghai. There was a ferocious beast living in this sea area, a jellyfish. It was different from the jellyfish on Earth, but it had a common toxicity. This kind of toxic paralyzing effect was mostly effective. Once it was hit, it would become the jellyfish beast's food. The strength of the jellyfish beast ranged from Transcendent Level 1 to Transcendent Level 5. The teeth, flesh, and poison sacs in the body of the jellyfish beast were all precious items. Therefore, many mercenary groups came here to hunt the jellyfish. Because of the influx of large numbers of mercenary groups, the Transcendent Rank 2 and Rank 3 detoxification pills quickly ran out. The lack of detoxification pills resulted in fewer mercenary groups entering the Black Sea area. And with fewer mercenary groups, naturally, the ingredients for detoxification pills and other spiritual herbs growing in the Black Sea area became more difficult to obtain, resulting in the current situation where detoxification pills were rare. Even all the pill stores in the entire Holy See Town did not have the detoxification pill. This was also the reason why the Life and Death Pill Workshop had made an early move after learning that the Sand Sea Mercenary Group had obtained the Heaven Billow Grass. Currently, a group of Draconids has gone to other towns to develop the market of the Dragon Assassin organization. If we want to increase our strength in a short period of time, we'll need other methods. The fastest way to complete a mission is to devour the aquatic creatures. At the same time, we can complete the mission and obtain resources. Killing two birds with one stone. Wang Xian was deep in thought as he searched for all the missions related to the Black Sea. Currently, he still had a system mission that he had yet to complete. That was to upgrade to a silver mercenary group. Upon upgrading to a silver mercenary group, one would obtain extraordinary items randomly. After returning to their residence, a group of members of the Dragon Palace were cultivating in the courtyard. The strength of the Golden Swordfish clan was much weaker compared to the Thorn Dragon. The only thing they could do now was to fight a powerhouse one level higher than them. Out of the 11 Golden Swordfish, only Ao Jian and 2 or 3 others had reached the 3rd level of Extraordinary while the rest were at the 2nd level of Extraordinary. Wang Xian entered the room and swallowed all the elixirs into his stomach, turning them into dragon crystals. Nearly 7,000 dragon crystals. It's a little more than I expected. Wang Xian thought to himself and immediately called the group of strange demons over. The strange demons had evolved into the light-pricking dragon species. They could assassinate enemies that were 2 levels higher than them. Wang Xian had to raise their strength first. Very soon, when Wang Xian upgraded all the strange demons to extraordinary level 3, he spent a total of 3,900 dragon crystals. It was a huge deviation from their budget. He thought that he could create an extraordinary level 4, but in the end, he didn't have enough dragon crystals. To upgrade a strange demon to extraordinary level 4, he needed 3,000 dragon crystals. Hence, the remaining 2,000 dragon crystals were used to upgrade all the golden swordfish to extraordinary level 3. Although it was a huge deviation from the budget, it was totally worth it. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the group of Dragon Palace members and revealed a smile. Within a short period of time, there were 32 Dragon Palace members including Ao Jianao. Golden Swordfish, 11 of them were at Transcendent Level 3. Strange Demon, 20 of them were at Transcendent Level 3, and 1 of them was at Transcendent Level 4. Wang Xian's strength was at Transcendent Level 3. This was his entire force at the moment. Due to the uniqueness of the Divine Dragon bloodline, they had the ability to fight against opponents of a higher level. Ao Demon, who was the strongest, could fight against a level 7 Extraordinaire. Wang Xian, on the other hand, could fight against a level 6 Extraordinaire. A group of light spikes could fight against a level 5 Extraordinaire. Golden Swordfish could fight against a level 4 Extraordinaire. This force was extremely strong in Shanghai town. It could definitely be ranked in the top 5. Let's go. Let's go and carry out our mission. The Dragon Assassin organization has already become famous in Shanghai town. Next, it's time for the Fairy Phoenix Mercenary Group. The corners of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly as he led the group of members of the Dragon Palace out. The Dogfish Mercenary Group had been annihilated. Bei Qianjun and Qinggu Cliff had also been assassinated. Now, there were no more obstacles in Shanghai town. The group walked out of the city. Ah, is that the young man? However, just as Wang Xian reached the door, a surprised voice came from the side. Wang Xian's heart stirred slightly as he looked to the side. Race, human. Good and evil -15. Strength, level 5 extraordinary. Weakness, the second rib on the waist, eyes. His gaze landed on a middle-aged man. Instantly, a figure appeared in his mind. The ability of the Dark Fire Dragon Eye was an extremely powerful ability. Through the Dark Fire Dragon Eye, he was able to see a person's good and evil. Good and evil came from the ability of the Heart of Light and Darkness. Being able to see a person's strength came from the ability of the Eye of the Heavenly Dragon. Being able to see a person's weakness came from the ability of the Piercing Pupil. All sorts of abilities overlapped together, forming the powerful eye technique of today. There were more than 10 people beside the middle-aged man. They were fully armed and were also walking towards the wilderness. Obviously, they were also carrying out a mission. On their chests, there was a badge. Mirage Sea Mercenary Group, 5-star silver rank. It's that young man from this morning who took out 8 million. Beside the middle-aged man, a young man's eyes flickered as he said in a low voice. That's right. However, from the looks of it, they seem to have left the city. A 2-star bronze rank mercenary group, he. A skinny woman licked her lips and tightened her grip on the saber. Captain and the rest are looking for information on this young man now. Let's go. Let's follow them. The middle-aged man in the middle had a greedy look on his face as he said softly. Wang Xian sensed the gazes of everyone. He smiled and continued to walk out. As long as you dare to come over, I will make you into the nourishment of the dragon pool. Wang Xian thought to himself. He walked straight out of the city gate and flew towards the Black Sea. His speed was not very fast, and he did not hide anything at all. Wang Xian could easily notice a group of more than 10 people following behind him. 40 minutes later, Wang Xian and the rest arrived at a sea area. The sea water was ink-colored with some weak toxins. This sea area was the edge of the Black Sea. The entire Black Sea area occupied an area of 70 to 80 kilometers. Chapter 908, Someone was courting death. At the edge of the Black Sea, it was usually an extraordinary level 1 or level 2 jellyfish. The more central it was, the stronger the jellyfish was. There was not even a single sea bird in the sky above the entire sea area. It seemed a little desolate. There are 10 bronze level missions and 7 silver level missions. Wang Xian looked at the entire Black Sea and revealed a smile. 10 bronze level missions, 5 4-star bronze level missions, and 5 5-star bronze level missions. If they could complete them, the Celestial Phoenix Mercenary Group would be able to attain 5-star bronze level missions. In addition to the 7 silver level missions, they would be able to attain 2-star silver level and 3-star silver level missions after completing all of them. Such an improvement speed was absolutely terrifying. Let's go in. Wang Xian ignored the group of people who had been following behind them and entered the Black Sea directly. Captain, they entered the Black Sea as well. What a coincidence. At this moment, when they saw Wang Xian and the rest entering the Black Sea, they paused in the air and said with smiles on their faces. That's right. What a coincidence. Manager Qian got us some detoxifying pills from the Life and Death Elixir workshop today. It's perfect. Let's complete a few missions and then play with them. The middle-aged man said with a smile on his face. He moved his body and dived into the sea. Let's go. The poison in the sea has yet to reach the supernatural realm. One will die immediately if they enter the sea. Wang Xian entered the sea and felt the poison inside. He thought to himself. However, as a divine dragon, the poison posed no threat to him. It didn't even pose any threat to the golden swordfish and the rest. In the water, their combat ability would be even stronger. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he looked around. This is the devil's nest at the bottom of the sea. Wang Xian looked down. The entire area was more than 20,000 meters deep. There seemed to be many mountain ranges below. Many of the mountain ranges at the bottom of the sea had huge holes that looked like the devil's nest at the bottom of the sea. The devil's nest at the bottom of the sea is the nest of the jellyfish. Some of the devil's nests are connected together. The celestial star grass and the heaven waves grass live in these nests. The celestial star grass grows above the nest while the heaven waves grass lives inside. Wang Xian recalled the information about the Black Sea and looked at the nests below. The jellyfish lived in these nests that were like demon caves. If they wanted to gain something, they had to enter the demon caves. Or they could lure the jellyfish out. The mercenary group determined the strength of the jellyfish based on the size of the devil's lair. Wang Xian moved his body and flew straight down. When he arrived at this mountain range that was in the middle of the ocean, Wang Xian scanned the surrounding devil's lair. "Let's go." Without any hesitation, he flew straight to the nearest devil's lair. When he arrived in front of the demon cave, the entrance of the cave was 2 meters wide. According to the records, it should be a level 2 extraordinary jellyfish. Wang Xian swept his gaze over and his eyes sparkled. No! Not every demon cave had jellyfish. Some of the jellyfish might have been killed and there were no jellyfish living in the nest. With a move, Wang Xian arrived in front of another mountain peak. He looked at the 1-meter-wide demon cave. His gaze swept across the demon cave. 10 meters away from the demon cave, a jellyfish with 6 claws and a gigantic head was lying inside. It was almost 1 meter in size and looked like an armor. Its entire head was covered with densely packed teeth. Boom! Wang Xian's body shook and a wave of divine dragon's pressure covered him directly. GG! A terrifying sound came from inside. Wang Xian's heart skipped a beat and the jellyfish immediately appeared in front of him. Hee hee! Wang Xian smiled. The control of the dragon's pressure was a complete suppression to the water tribe members who were weaker than him. When his strength reached a certain level, the dragons in this world would be able to be controlled directly. You guys go around and hunt the jellyfish. Be careful. Wang Xian looked around and said to the members of the Dragon Palace. In the area of the Black Sea, the most powerful jellyfish was only at Transcendent Level 5. The members of the Dragon Palace could easily deal with it. 1. Wang Xian controlled the jellyfish and immediately flew towards the other demon lair. His speed was very fast. With a sweep of his gaze, he could see if there were any jellyfish inside. Most of the jellyfish at the edge were at the first or second level of the supernatural realm. He unleashed his dragon's might and directly controlled them. Soon, dozens of jellyfish gathered behind Wang Xian. In the surroundings, golden swordfish and strange demons were also killing the jellyfish one by one. With their strength, they were not much slower than Wang Xian. Why are there no signs of the jellyfish in the caves? The detoxification pills have been cut off recently, so there shouldn't be so few jellyfish. Could it be that there are experts here? Also, why did the young man and the rest who entered the water earlier disappear as well? At this moment, the Mirage Sea mercenary group, who was at the back, looked around and asked with an embarrassed expression. They must have realized that there are no jellyfish beasts in the surrounding caves, so they went to the front. Let's speed up. The middle-aged captain pondered and said. He immediately quickened his pace. Boom! At this moment, Wang Xian waved his arm 1,000 meters in front of them. A ball of seawater surrounded an extraordinary level 3 jellyfish. The terrifying water energy entered its body directly. Wang Xian moved his body and turned into a divine dragon to devour it. Ding! Devouring the jellyfish. Extracting 9 dragon crystals. The system's voice rang out. Wang Xian shook his head slowly. Upgrading required 10,000 dragon crystals. A level 3 transcendent could only provide 9 dragon crystals. He needed to devour more than 1,000 level 3 aquatic creatures before he could reach level 4 transcendent. After Wang Xian devoured the jellyfish, he immediately entered the nest of the jellyfish. When a jellyfish reached extraordinary level 3, the things secreted from its body would be able to grow the heaven star grass and heaven billow grass. Wang Xian entered the nest but did not discover anything. He immediately came out. Continue. His body moved and continued to advance forward. The surrounding members of the Dragon Palace were also advancing forward rapidly. One by one, the jellyfish were killed quickly. Some of the members of the Dragon Palace found some heaven star grass and heaven billow grass inside. Boom! Wang Xian waved his arm and a huge dragon claw condensed in the seawater. He killed an extraordinary level 3 jellyfish. He had a thought and kept it into his interspatial ring. He entered the ring and saw a heaven billow grass in the depths of the ring. He smiled. The Black Sea area with a radius of 70 to 80 kilometers can be easily defeated. Wang Xian revealed a confident expression. You're quite fast, huh? It seems like you've made some gains. At this moment, a voice came from the side. Wang Xian quickly looked over. You're really courting death. Chapter 909, was easily killed. 10,000 meters under the sea, in front of an underwater mountain, a group of more than 10 people stood in front of a devil den. At the entrance of the devil den, a golden swordfish stood there, expressionlessly staring at the dozen people in front of it. I really don't know why a small 2-star bronze mercenary group has so many spiritual stones. The woman next to the middle-aged captain sized up the golden swordfish. Are your other members nearby? Call them over. The middle-aged captain revealed a greedy look. A 2-star bronze mercenary group and a young captain who could take out 8 million spirit stones. Perhaps this mercenary group and that young man weren't simple, but after seeing their strength, greed rose in their hearts. The group of young men holding longswords only had the strength of a rank 3 transcendent, so what was there to be afraid of? To be able to reach this step, they not only possessed courage, but also decisiveness. My companions are all around. They heard your voice just now, they should be rushing over soon. The golden swordfish looked around and said to the group of over 10 people with a smile. Are you very confident? The middle-aged captain saw the expression of the golden swordfish and narrowed his eyes slightly. He swept his gaze around and gestured to the people around him. The members of the Mirage Sea Mercenary Group nodded slowly and dispersed. Mirage Sea Mercenary Group, do we have any enmity with you? Wang Xian walked over and swept his gaze across all of them as he asked expressionlessly. At this moment, the golden swordfish in the surroundings also flew over and stared at all of them with an expressionless face. The middle-aged captain didn't say anything. He sized up Wang Xian and the rest again and again before he slowly narrowed his eyes. There's no enmity. The middle-aged captain said with a smile. Then why are you surrounding our team members? Wang Xian smiled when he saw how vigilant they were. As expected of a seasoned mercenary group. They didn't even make a move under such circumstances. Attack! All of a sudden, the middle-aged captain moved and gave the order to attack Wang Xian. It's really... Wang Xian shook his head slowly when he saw their attack. Ft. 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 The sound of penetration was heard. The expression of the middle-aged captain who had just leaped up changed drastically. When he turned his head around, a terrifying white figure appeared beside his subordinate. A weapon as sharp as a sickle directly killed them. Pooh! Before he could react, a sharp claw directly pierced through his body, causing his eyes to widen as he looked at the smiling youth. This kind of creature? The spirit stones on his body, could it be? Suddenly, before his death, a thought flashed across the middle-aged man's mind. Following that, he widened his eyes. His eyes were filled with disbelief. The Dragon Assassin Organization. He widened his eyes and growled in a low voice with a face full of shock. Following his words, blood kept spurting out of his mouth. Wang Xian moved his arm and stored their corpses into his interspatial ring. These were rare nutrients. Let's go, let's continue. Clean up this area within 5 days. Wang Xian said to the members of the Dragon Palace before returning to his original position. Wang Xian did not care about the more than 10 people from the Mirage Sea Mercenary Group. Since they were seeking death, Wang Xian would not be merciful either. They continued to advance forward. With Wang Xian and the rest's abilities, their speed was extremely fast. It had been 2 to 3 years since many mercenary groups had come to the Black Sea region. This caused the number of jellyfish to increase. There were quite a number of celestial star grass and heaven billow grass. I wonder how the mercenary groups will react when they discover that there are no jellyfish when the celestial star grass and heaven billow grass are available in Shanghai town. Wang Xian smiled when he thought of this. However, this didn't have much of an impact. Both the celestial star grass and the heaven billow grass were used for detoxification and detoxification. They could be used in many places, not just in the Black Sea region. Wang Xian and the rest were very fast. Within 2 days, they had swept across an area of more than 20 kilometers. It was only on the 3rd day when they were close to the central region that their speed slowed down. It's going to be troublesome now. Wang Xian looked ahead. In front of him was an endless mountain range. The demon caves in the mountain range were no longer just a dozen meters or 20 to 30 meters deep like before. Here, the demon caves were completely connected together. They were densely packed like a demon palace. The entrance of each cave was about 4 to 5 meters in size. There were jellyfish beasts of supernatural level 4 and 5 living inside. No wonder there are no extraordinary level 6 or 7 experts to clean up the Black Sea. The jellyfish beasts here can make a fortune. Wang Xian entered the Devil's Cave and looked at the passageways that extended in all directions. He raised his eyebrows. The entire mountain range was completely cleared. He had no idea how many jellyfish beasts were inside. Moreover, even if Ao Yao Yao entered, she would feel dizzy inside. This was not a problem of perception. There were simply too many passageways. It seems like Ao Yao and Ao Jian can only stay behind me. Wang Xian had the light and dark fire dragon eyes. With the penetration of the eye of the heavenly dragon, he could push forward directly. Even so, he still had to mark the road. Let's go. Wang Xian swept his gaze across the area and noticed that there were 4 to 5 jellyfish beasts gathered at a distance of more than 500 meters. He moved his body and rushed over immediately. From the perspective of the dragon eyes of light and dark fire, it was a distance of 500 meters. However, there were a few caves that needed to be circled. In fact, the distance was more than 500 meters. When Wang Xian and the rest got closer, the 5 jellyfish that were lying on the ground instantly stood up vigilantly. Out of the 5 jellyfish, 3 of them were nearly 4 meters in size while the rest were more than 2 meters in size. Chirp! Chirp! The largest jellyfish in the middle let out a low growl. The other 4 jellyfish instantly attacked Wang Xian and the rest. Pft! 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 However, in an instant, streams of white light flashed and the 4 jellyfish were instantly killed. Chirp! Chirp! When the other jellyfish saw the rapid death of its companion, a look of fear appeared in its eyes. It opened its mouth and a thick, ink-colored poisonous fog directly covered Wang Xian and the rest. Meanwhile, this jellyfish was fleeing frantically towards the back. If you can't beat it, then run. Even if it's a ferocious beast, it will still possess powerful instincts when its level is higher. Wang Xian looked at the escaping jellyfish. He raised his eyebrows and moved his arm. A thorny bush emerged from the ground and completely wrapped around its body. Bang! The thorny bush entered the body of the jellyfish and easily killed it. Let's go, continue. Wang Xian moved his body and walked forward again, leaving marks in the places he passed by. The members of the Dragon Palace were observing the star grass and the heaven billow grass. Chapter 9-10, returned with a full load. The appearance of the labyrinth-like demonic cave caused Wang Xian to slow down completely. Moreover, most of the jellyfish in the labyrinth were in groups. Every level 5 extraordinary jellyfish had 20 to 30 underlings. Once they sensed danger, they would immediately flee. Although the strongest jellyfish here was only level 5 extraordinary, it was extremely difficult to hunt them down. In this narrow area, even a level 5 extraordinaire would have a high chance of dying. Even a level 6 extraordinaire would be restricted by the surrounding rocks here. This was a place where low-level mercenary groups hunted ferocious beasts, But it was not an ideal place for a powerful mercenary group. There are actually 3 level 5 extraordinaire jellyfish beasts gathered together. There are more than 50 level 3 and 4 extraordinaire jellyfish beasts. When Wang Xian stayed in the maze for 2 days, he suddenly saw a densely populated area. There were 3 extraordinary level 5 jellyfish. Heaven billow grass, there are so many heaven billow grass. Wang Xian swept his gaze across and his eyes lit up. Currently, Wang Xian had obtained a total of more than 100 heaven billow grass. However, there were at least 50 to 60 heaven billow grass in the area in front of him. After collecting these heaven billow grass, I will leave this place. Wang Xian thought to himself. There were not many sea jelly beasts in this dark demon lair. Furthermore, there were too many passageways in the surroundings that gave him a headache. In 2 days, they had only killed about 70 to 80 sea jelly beasts. Among them, many of them were at the 2nd level of transcendence. Therefore, there was no need for them to stay here any longer. Furthermore, Wang Xian and the rest had already kept the items for the mission. Kill! Wang Xian pointed with his arm. The group of strange beasts immediately hid themselves and came to the group of jellyfish beasts lying on the ground. The highest level of strength was at level 5 transcendence. Under the attacks of Ao Yao and the rest, they were completely defenseless. After storing all the jellyfish beasts' corpses into his interspatial ring, Wang Xian looked at the heaven waves grass in front of him. There were a total of 63 heavens wave grass of extraordinary 4th level. The heavens wave grass, heaven star grass, and the carcasses of the ferocious beasts in Wang Xian's possession were worth over 1 million middle-grade spirit stones. To other mercenary groups, this was something unimaginable. For example, the Horn Shark mercenary group was so powerful that it would require a huge amount of energy to kill a level 5 extraordinary horned snake. The huge horned snake was brought to the Holy Sea town and caused a huge commotion. Ferocious beasts and demonic beasts were not easy to kill. Not to mention killing a level 5 extraordinary ferocious beast and searching for spiritual herbs in Wang Xian's current environment. Even if Dao Hen, the number 1 mercenary group in the Holy Sea town, brought all his members here, their harvest might not even be 1/10 of Wang Xian's. This was even under the circumstances where Dao Hen was personally involved. Let's go! Without any hesitation, Wang Xian led the members of the Dragon Palace out of the Demon Den and headed in the direction of Shanghai Town. After successfully returning to Shanghai Town, Wang Xian headed towards the Demon Hunters Association with a smile on his face. One could pass through the mission stone plate if they accepted the mission. However, they had to go to the Demon Hunters Association if they handed in the mission. There would be many people in the Demon Hunters Association every day. The number of people in the association today was much more than usual. Wang Xian and the rest went in. They were curious when they saw many people queuing up to submit the mission. After listening for a while, they realized that it was a mercenary group from Donghai City. Every few months, the merchants of Donghai Town would gather together and hire more than a dozen mercenary groups to come to Shanghai Town to deliver supplies. This resulted in a group of mercenary groups submitting missions together every time. Wang Xian was waiting in line while a group of members of the Dragon Palace stood at the side. The mission this time is really dangerous. The strength of those bandits is beyond imagination. FUCK, if boss hadn't made a breakthrough not long ago, we might have died here. After submitting the mission this time, we should be able to advance to a 2-star Silver Star mercenary group. Hehe, a 2-star Silver mercenary group can be ranked in the top 40 in our academy. I'm so tired. After handing in the mission, hurry up and find a place to rest. At this time, another group of people came to the mercenary group and began to talk loudly. This group of people was not very old. They were all young people. They were talking loudly, but there was a proud look on their faces. Such a long line. It was obviously their first time in Holy Sea Town. When they saw 7 or 8 mercenary groups lining up, they were surprised. When we reach the gold mercenary group, if there is no gold mercenary group in front, we can directly cut the line. A young man said with some yearning. Reaching the gold mercenary group was a watershed. When a mercenary group reached the gold level, the minimum must be a transcendent level 6 powerhouse. At this level, when one was handing in the mission, they could directly cut the queue when there were mercenary groups below the gold level at the front. This was the privilege of a powerhouse. A 2-star bronze mercenary group. Hehe, look around. Most of the mercenary groups in Shanghai town are bronze level. There aren't many gold level ones at all. After all, this is a small town. Our 1-star silver level mercenary group is considered pretty good here. The group of people came to the back of Wang Xian and said with a smile when they saw the mercenary group on Wang Xian and the rest. Brother, can you give us some space? We are in a hurry. At this moment, Wang Xian felt a palm placed on his shoulder and the voice from behind was heard. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and moved the young man's hand away. He turned around and said, I'm sorry, we are also in a hurry. Wang Xian's words made the young men unhappy. What, you don't agree? Wang Xian smiled faintly and ignored them. Humph, a small 2-star bronze mercenary group. We are talking to you guys properly, yet you don't give us any face. A young man saw Wang Xian turning around, and his eyes revealed a hint of coldness. The corner of his mouth curled up slightly. He swept his gaze across the surroundings and flicked his finger. The golden needle formed from metal attribute pierced directly toward Wang Xian's back. Buzz! Wang Xian sensed the small movement behind him and a golden light flashed across his back. Ah! A scream came out from the young man's mouth. He covered his arm with an embarrassed expression. What's going on? Everyone in the hall turned around immediately when they heard the young man's scream. They looked over in astonishment. Kid, you actually dared to sneak attack me. One of the young man's palms was covered in blood. He stared at Wang Xian with a gloomy expression. I know who is going to sneak attack who. Wang Xian glanced at the young man indifferently and said with slight disdain. You're courting death. The young man covered his wound and stared at Wang Xian coldly. No one is allowed to make a move in the hiring association. At this moment, the cold voice of the guard came from the side. You're tuning into the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.